see if this works. What is up, my friends? What? We're testing out some new gear, and the school of the missing toenail is complete. Try to get this wire out of the way. I don't think, how much battery do we got here? 84, we don't need to keep it plugged in anymore. Okay, let's see what we got here. Welcome to the first stream. The training floor is complete. And the school of the missing toenail now lives. Let's see if we can make this. This is a pretty cool little tour of the. Well, I'll be doing my ninja training from now on. That's the update. And I get this cool island kitchen thing going on. Yeah, I'm trying to see what's. Oh, I can actually do a front-facing camera here now. Before I couldn't do that. Where's front? See, this whole thing with the damn YouTube can't fix their camera. It's so stupid. Why can't they just do anything right? It's like they have to make everything difficult. How does this thing turn? What's this do? That doesn't go that way. Oh, jeez, I need another one of these things. How's it going, my friends? I'm just setting this up because YouTube is broken and I can't stream from the front. Because why would YouTube make anything easy? Of course they wouldn't do that, right? Because why would they do anything right? That makes so much sense. Okay, in the chat. Okay, the chat is connected. I think that's working. What's up, my friends? I'm just setting things up. I just 3.5 rooms done. We gotta fix the study room next. But the training floor is complete. Streaming rig is almost set up. It's only been 3 weeks. Things are getting, I have fancy chair, long hair, don't care. How many of you guys are my friends and how many of you have random fucking Google bots? Because every time I start a stream, I get 10 to 12 random motherfuckers with no names coming in saying the most ridiculous shit, and then they leave, and then people trickle in. It's like almost as if Google and YouTube arrange it that way to make it shitty on purpose. Okay, my English friends, let's try get the other ones. I think this stupid white light bulb, will this be okay? Do I need this other light? How dark does this get? I'm just testing stuff, guys. I'm testing stuff. Oh, I like that. Does this work? That would be kind of cool if I get away with that. Yeah. It's a learning experience, guys, okay? We're working on it. Oh, instantly 6 retards just left. Great. Okay, 3 more retards just left. Great, awesome. Okay, that means we're almost ready to start. This is when the normal people come in. That's a little faster than normal. I've gotten used to YouTube's system. Let's see if this light's good. I don't get this stupid cam light right in front of my face. It's weird. I don't like that. I just don't like it. Okay. Oh. Hello, my English friends. What? All right. This kind of works. I mean, maybe I should do portrait streaming, but no, I don't know what the hell what's better to do. I can do portrait mode, I guess. So today, coming live from the school of the missing toenail. But if I can go to World Tai Chi Day with a broken ass foot, broken teeth, broken foot, and broken back, and I train every goddamn day now because I gotta get in shape because now I gotta teach all the peoples the ways of the ninja forces. I gotta prove to people that you don't have to be sloppy and look like shit, and you can still be good at Tai Chi. And you can use your Tai Chi to make your fitness stuff better, and use your fitness stuff to make Tai Chi better, because it's the freaking yin yang, people. So I'm going to do it again just to prove it, because doing it 3 times in my life wasn't enough, so I'm going to have to do it again. And then they say, he's not fat, and he can throw kicks, and it's not Tai Chi, he's making Tai Chi a hard style. Like, he's making Tai Chi a hard style. That's not Tai Chi. So that's basically the deal. So I like this lighting better. I don't know if it's conducive to the stream here. Let's try the overhead. I just hate the white light, Chinese restaurant lights. This is probably better. All right. The rear-facing camera is like almost fisheye lens. It just doesn't do what it's supposed to do. YouTube is fucking whack. I don't know what, it's like they purposely made this shit worse than it's supposed to be. I don't know why. But they added portrait mode. Maybe that's what it is. Can I use that? Let's try that instead. Let's see what happens. There's a portrait mode, right? What's this? Oops, highlight, never mind. Let me see. No, I think you have to start the stream in portrait. Oh, wait, what's this? No, done. It's green screen. Oh, shit. Give me a second, I'll fix. We've done this before, guys. I've made the mistake. Jesus. Why is everything so difficult? No, there we go. Done. Okay, so that's the green screen. Okay, and then what is this? That's a button, doesn't do anything. Cool. So I can't see the chat. Or who's in the moderation. It's so stupid. Like, how can they make it this bad? Like, what is wrong with these people? Okay, so I think we're okay. Yeah, well, thank you for sticking around while I fix everything and test it out. Well, anyway, this will kind of be the angle I've been teaching my online classes from. So we're going to take a look and see how it works out. You're using a setting for estate agents? No, it's actually a big room. I'm 6'3". It's actually just a big room. It's actually that big. I mean, I think it's like 13 by 13. Because this is, I'm 6'3" actually. So this is, what I mean? It's a pretty damn big room. So if I'm 6'3", and that's 6 foot. So that's a 6 foot staff, and I can't touch the walls. So it's a pretty big room. But the rear-facing camera looks fucking retarded. I don't know why. I don't know why they do that. But yeah, Thanks for another no-name moron saying something shitty, proving my point. It's like they purposely do this shit to try to turn it, but like I try to explain this. I'm gonna keep streaming until I'm dead just to be a dick. Because they don't want me to. Just to piss off everybody. But actually, I'm curious. Let's reverse the camera and see what happens when we turn it onto front-facing camera. Does it look that big? Yeah, it's something with the freaking rear-facing camera that doesn't look as good. Wait! Hold on a second. Give me something and see if it's reversed, if they fixed the reversal thing. Let's see. It looks backwards. Let me see. Yeah, it's backwards. God damn YouTube. Okay, so maybe there's another setting we can check out. Maybe there's a zoom feature? Oh, Jesus. This is terrible. Like, YouTube, your streaming sucks. It's like really just fucking obnoxious. Okay. Alright, maybe that's okay. I think I zoomed it. Let's see, does I still look like a fucking, like I'm in a fish lens? Okay, I think we're okay. I think that's kind of acceptable. Let's find out. I think it's the rear-facing camera allows you to zoom, so it puts you like the far zoom. Is that what it is? Does this look normal now? I don't understand why I can't use the front-facing fucking camera and it turns backwards and you can't, it's just stupid. Like they made it so that normal people can't see the chat. Like right now, I'm using a monitor to see the chat. It's like, what the fuck? It never did this for years. Now it's like all of a sudden they did an update and it's like, oh, screw you, you know? Do you want to fucking, they're doing it on purpose to like, you know, screw over the smaller creators. Because like imagine all the people just starting out and they're trying to use a cell phone and they're fucking shit backwards and they can't read the chat and they look retarded and who's going to want to watch them? It has to be, because it's too stupid. That's a lot. That's a lot. You know, but there's some technology I actually like these new TVs. You know, like when my students were supposed to help me get a new TV today, because my TV exploded on me. So I got this like really dope TV, really cheap, and like I'm surprised how good quality it is for how low cost I got it for. I'm like, you know, it's like I feel like the old grandpa that's learning how to use the internet again. But then again, I've been in isolation for 6 years, living on a mountain and like traveling all over the place completely by myself, dealing with the fucking ass of humanity. The only people I see is like going to the grocery store, you know, and then people who will fly into train or drive into train, and the few times they come and shrink. Other than that, I'm on ninja mode. Yeah, so the technology made a huge jump. I haven't been to a store that has technology in 6 years. I went to Best Buy today, I'm like, holy shit, you see these new TVs? It's like, what the fuck? Like, who needs that? It's getting to a point where the TVs are so high quality that it actually is like upsetting, it's unsettling. It's like the TVs are so clear that it's weird. It's like not natural. It doesn't, you know, like I don't know if I can get used to that. Because I was looking at the 8K OLED, whatever the fuck it is, like, and it's like, that's like too good. It's so good it's bad. It's so good it's bad, you know? So, yeah, but I hate technology a lot. You know, it's not that I hate technology, I hate the people who run the technology, because they make everything fucking stupid. They make everything like a, you know, like a retarded, upside down idiocracy version, trying to control everything. But some good news, one of the many predictions that I've gotten right it's starting. You know, there's fucking Section 230. Tim Pool is posted about this. The fucking Section 230 lawsuit. Fucking Orange Man Badge suing CBS for $20 billion. They won against The View. They won. It's like, you know, there's antitrust lawsuits with Google and fucking Facebook. I called all this shit. And it's a question of how long it's going to take for it to trickle down the line so that, like, people like me and all of us that got fucked, you know, will get their retribution. But it's coming. You know, as long as we can survive the devil's asshole a little longer, I think we're going to be okay. You know, and I'll be one of the people who survived the Great Meme War. I was the general in the Great Meme War. You know, I'm a veteran of the Great Meme Wars. People don't know. We had many losses, many casualties in that war. You know, Texas, but it's kind of funny because while that's happening, Texas just passed a bill today to make political memes illegal and punishable by a year in jail if you make a political meme and you don't put a disclaimer on it. Of all the places, Texas, you think it was California. It's freaking madness. It's just madness. So anyway, welcome to the new school. You know, you're behind the closed door, the open door. This will be Tai Chi United, North Carolina, the secret training location. And we'll be doing online seminars from here, and then we'll have retreats and, you know, training camps on the beaches. We might be doing some stuff at the local schools, colleges, and stuff like that. So it's going to be a lot of work, which is why I'm getting back in shape, so I can look like a trainer again. I couldn't just be left alone and be happily retired and fat and on my ass. I was fucking signed up for this shit. So I'm enjoying my last moments of being able to sit at home and, you know, medicate myself because of my toes and my teeth. Oh my god. Oh my god. The fucking UK is fucked. It's so fucked. And like, it's so funny because like those people from the UK will come into my channel like talking so much shit, and I'm like, dude, you're fucking lucky. I just want to smack the shit out of you. Like, I'd rather fight you. I can fucking have you like arrested. Like, you guys can go to jail for talking so much shit. It's like on top of like, you know, their freaking online abuse laws, you commit an international felony. You fucking idiot. You're lucky that I'm not a cuck and I'm gonna fucking report your ass. But yeah, UK is so fucked. Like, I had a lot of friends that are from Britain, but they don't live there, thank God. They all moved. I met them in New York, and they all moved out of New York and to other places, like those random European countries that no one talks about. Switzerland and fucking Brussels and, you know, whatever the fuck. Well, I don't fucking know. I know Brussels, that's Germany, but some fucking place over there. There's a couple people that moved to like the quiet places. I'm no geography major, but I know there's 7 continents and they're not fucking islands. Have you guys seen some of these videos where like these guys will go like on the street and ask random like people questions about like just normal stuff and they can't answer them? Oh, I heard about that. It's so bananas. It's this. It's like there's something called the lockstep document. Okay, the Rockefeller Foundation has something called the lockstep document. It's not, you know, you get a PDF everywhere on the internet. You should look into that because this whole fucking thing. They're just testing to see how much you get away with. Because the interdimensional aliens and the fucking parasite demons that take over people's bodies are just trying to test how much they can get away with. How much is the mind virus, you know, and like the system abuse people enough to keep them slaves. That's all this is. You know, the world is such a strange place. Fucking demonic psychos. Like the fucking Britain's fucked. I mean, it's so fucked. They're like arresting people for praying in their head. You'll go to jail for praying in your head, but now they're allowed to have the Muslim prayers 3 times a day. Like, holy fuck, man. Like, what the hell is going on? Was that my phone beeping? Let me put the do not disturb on. Because I don't know if it... I think that was my phone. It's just a shit show. This world, you know. With the wisdom of the school of the missing toenail, I will pass on the ancient knowledge to you and teach you the way of the force. When you lose your toenail, you achieve enlightenment. The crown chakra opens, and you can see through the veil of the universe. It's not, it actually just sucks, that's all. But it's healing in a really strange way, because it's like the skin looks like a toenail, but it's not a toenail. It's so fucking weird. The last time I moved, I broke both of them, and my nail was black for like 8 months. Like, and it just hurt forever. And then they finally grew back, and then I moved, and I fucking wreck them again. That's what happened to a size 13 fucking foot. Get in the way of everything. Everyone's like, I want to be tall. And I'm like, you don't want to be tall. It's just problems. Like, obese people have a better chance of fitting into places than tall people. Like, getting shoes is hard. They make enough clothes for fat people. But like, getting things that fit you when you're like over 6 foot is not fun. But anyway, back to Britain. Britain's fucked. Like, I won't be surprised if they outlaw like even training martial arts soon, because they really want to make it so that they can just be overtaken within 5 years. Because that's the whole goal. If you read all their plans, you know, the ruling class, you know, the people that don't realize that run the place, they think that Muslims are easier to control than, like, you know, Christians and black people. Like, it's fucked up, but that's what it is. So they're trying to, like, you know, slowly integrate and push them over. And like the Muslim people, they think that, oh, you know, we're going to take over for Allah, not realizing that that's not why they're letting you do it. They're doing it because they think you're better slaves. Which I think the etymology, I think the word Muslim actually means slave. Same way like Christian is Cretus, which is stupid and ignorant. So, yeah, the next 4 years is going to fucking make or break it. And it's like, if there isn't enough people who wake the fuck up, we're in a lot of trouble. It's like the last stand for humanity is what happens in the next year in America. Like, if they don't win this Section 230 thing, and it doesn't, like, they don't break up these monopolies, it's not going to be good. But I think it's going to happen. I haven't missed the prediction yet. Sometimes the time a little delayed, but I've been 99.99999% accurate. So now it's, I think the liberals in America are down to 20% at this point. And like when you look at the videos of the people who are out there, like the deranged, you know, and I'm not a Christian Republican by any means, but fuck, man, I don't want to be with the uncool kids, with that blue and non-alt-left crazy people, like foaming at the mouth shit. I don't want to do with it. I don't want nothing to do with it. But unfortunately, my prediction is correct about the whole trans thing, because, you know, I said it, like, I said 10, 12 years, maybe almost 15 years, how long was that? 13 years ago I said this. Because I watched when the new generation of rejects came into the fetish scene, and they were pushing all this cancel culture shit and their fucking, like, weird ideologies. And I'm like, it's going to get away with this for a while, but then the repercussions of this is going to set the whole thing backwards. Because it, you know, it's like when the rubber band comes back, it's going to snap back past where it started from. And that's what's happening. But that's what happens when good people don't stand up to fucking loudmouth idiots and they're scared. Because you outnumber the idiots. But because even though you outnumber them, how do I explain? It's like tactically, like a 5-man element can take out 100 fucking people. You know what I mean? It's just, 5 people organized can take out 100 people disorganized. How do you think this control mechanism stays? How do you think the cops maintain control most of the time? Because they have a small group of people who are organized and they overtake those who are unorganized. You know what I mean? But the reality is the people who don't agree with this stupid, crazy shit, like, it's like 75%. Nobody likes anything going on. It's just that people are disconnected. The system keeps people disconnected. You know, how many people actually have friends anymore? I never liked people. I like people, but I hate people, but I love gatherings. I've always been the popular loner type, you know, like I'll hang out with random, and then I'll, you know, I spend most of my time studying and trying to do something with myself. It's, look, I called it exactly the same way you're saying it. It's history repeats itself, and the people now are too stupid to know the history, and they're doomed to repeat it. Like they created a caste system where they think that they like where there's actually a genetic change in the humans. Like the lower classes are mutated. Their IQs are very low by like artificial means. They're sick. They're human resources. The fucking factory farm, so that you know an elite group can siphon the resources of humans. You know. But in order to stay that way, they had to like dumb them down, make them, you know, easily mentally manipulable and fucking. They have the system down, like, you know, like the prison is all mental. You know, like majority of it's mental. Because yeah, I mean they keep you financially tied in. You know, the whole system is like a financial prison, but most of it's mental. Because you know, if people come together and build communities, you don't need the system would fall apart. Like you don't need the system, you know, like humans don't need the system. You know, the system only benefits a few by milking. It's literally just like culling the crops. But if you understand, like, how did it happen? How did the social engineering on the level that it is, and you know, the hypnotic mind viruses that have been set out into the collectives, because that's what this really is. They found a vulnerability in human, not the consciousness, but like in the human brain. You know, like neurolinguistic programming and stuff like that. But what they did was they create hypnotic viruses that spread around somnambulists. So all the people who are easily susceptible to hypnosis and have low IQs, this mind virus infects them, and they become like these zombie people. You know, it's a cult. It's a thought-formed virus, like a computer code, that infects people's brains, and it spreads, and it's self-propagating. Like each person becomes the next hypnotist. You know, it's like trauma-based programming. It's like it's really intricate how when you see it, and you actually see this, like the system, and like who and how easy it is to identify them. And this is why all the masters do what I did historically. Like you wind up going into seclusion, going to the mountains, stay away from the groups of people. Like right now I'm in a small city, and I just want to go back to the mountains. I just want to go back to the chickens and the trees. You know, like what's nice about, you know, it's like this like food, like variety of food I can get now, which is great. You know, and there's like amenities, that's just pretty cool. Like I can go to a gym that's right inside my house, you know? And there's like things to do that I probably won't do. But like seeing what my very wealthy friends, I have some friends who are like millionaires and billionaires, and they call us the swells. Like the rich people, they call us swells. We're the swells of people. And I don't belong in the swells. I'm like this endangered species that should be put into a fucking panda enclosure that you could put into a fucking, some kind of like enclosure to save my genetics. Well, you know, like, I would say I pray for the UK people, but if they may arrest me. The other UK guys, they come to America and send out a warrant because I prayed for somebody silently in my head from America to Britain. What in the crazy fucking shit of all? Like, I never thought I'd hear the day. What do I practice? So I started with Yang style, and then I started doing like all the other stuff little by little. But now I practice my own lineage, which is basically a combination of all the masters I studied with. So they named the form Celestial Dragon Tai Chi, which is like, you know, I like to say it's a Yang-based form because it's based on the Yang long form, but it has every single Tai Chi lineage in it. I mean, like literally everybody's in it because over 20 years of training with people and like all the masters I trained with in Chinatown, all the random like competitor guys I trained with, what I would do was like every time I go to a meetup or go to a place, I take, you know, 1 to 3 techniques and I would test out. How it started was I would test out in push hands, like random people, okay, what works and what doesn't, and you know, what coincides with my hard style training, my other training, and we started to find the averages of techniques that were similar, and then we found out what techniques were missing. So we made a library of techniques, and that's the form. And there's some other like esoteric shit that happened that made the form what it is. But so I would say, you know, I still practice Yang style, but my Yang style is not Yang style that people do. But I do teach William Chen's 60 movement form. And that's what I started with. I started with Chen Chen's 60 movement form. And then and my first teacher was William C.C. Chen's first certified instructor. And then after that, I started doing Yang style from Christ, who I was renting out from. There was a national champion push hands guy, and that's how I started with him. And after that, I just started training with these random ass Chinese people and doing all kinds of weird Chinese shit. You know, styles that people don't even know that there's no name, you know, it's just like old stuff. But yeah, so my main thing is Yang. But what I practice now is it's not really my form, I call it my form. But so I have a form that I practice. It's like my family form, you know, because like, if you look at tradition, you know, every time someone gets to the master level, they usually create their own form. So instead of just creating my own form randomly, I took every single high-level guy from Chinatown and put it into my form. What's up, Dan? So that's where the dragon style form came from. It's more of a notebook, you know, but it's actually, no, it's 30 years in the making. So, and it's still, you know, evolving, but that's the form we're teaching now. Tai Chi United is my dragon style form. So that's the thing, and it's, you know, I didn't want to name, you know, I wasn't the one who named it that, because the reason was like there's a lot of moves that are dragon style moves that are in there that people that do the form now are saying, oh, that was what stuck out to them, but everything is in the form. I mean, so it's like you literally have every single Tai Chi lineage in my form, but there's also Baji, Vichuan, fucking Jingyi, Baji, fucking Bagua, Mijongyi, fucking, you know, like so much of Mantis is in it. You know, there's Wing Chun in it, a lot of Wing Chun is in it. So, you know, it's obviously by Crane. I forgot about it. Yeah, fucking, you know, it's like, I don't usually mention the white crane because to me it's so obvious. It's just, you know, I was trained with some white crane guys in Chinatown. Didn't even speak a fucking word of English. So, you know, between that and the water style Tai Chi I did, that's the beginning of the form. There's a little bit of it because it's more of the, there's a little bit of the Hakka stuff in it. Because like I used to spar with this guy, my first Chinese style sparring with my Kung Fu brother back in the day. I don't know how to count the postures right now. I never counted it. But what happened was, my Kung Fu brother, like when I was doing karate and he was doing dragon style, and we used to spar in Brooklyn all the time. You know what I mean? Because back in those days, we used to, you know, everybody used to spar. We just wore no gear in the street, like, you know, beating the shit out of each other. And I spent a lot with him, and I learned some his techniques. And then I started training a little bit of the dragon style stuff with some of my Chinese friends from like Avenue U. And just like learning the techniques. So like it's kind of like there's a little bit of it in there from what I remember it. But what actually happened was through reverse engineering, the way it came about calling it dragon style, because yes, there's some postures that will just happen to be there because it's me sparring with some people. But there's moves when you reverse engineer the yang style form and you go past snake style, like the snake parts of the form. There's articulations of the hand and there's certain moves of the tail, because this is something I got from Tai Chi actually, is the imagery of having a dragon's tail. And I use that for teaching all the time. I used to just say I have a tail, right? When I teach karate, I was like, oh, imagine you have a tail on the ground. And then Tai Chi, one of his videos, talking about how, like a meditation video, talking about this dragon tail and connecting, So I put that analogy into my teaching to show how to use the hip and the sacrum. When you combine that with reverse engineering the silk reeling, and you combine that with my understanding of how the articulation of the hand happened. So when I play drums, I have a different system of playing drums than normal people do. And what I did was I sat with one of my students who's a like super high level drummer, professional, like he went to college with me. And we spent like a year like figuring out like what is the like most efficient way. So I kind of used Tai Chi to play drums. And when I started finding out, what later on I figured out was like similar to what they call open close in drumming. But then I noticed the Tai Chi form, when you do the stretching properly and you do the articulations, there's certain shapes that your hand will just make. And they just so happen to coincide with dragon style. So yeah, because how I was taught in karate is that your sacrum is a tail, and like your sacrum used to be the vestigial tail, but it wasn't until, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago I started calling it dragon tail, and I think it's because I heard Tai Chi say it. I don't remember, because like, there's so much shit in my head, I don't remember exactly where I get it. I try to give people credit, but there's just so much packed in here. But so we have this tail shaking, and then we have the silk reeling, and then we have the passive articulation of the hand. So when you're in the yin side, you have the haka, and you have, so basically you wind up, every time you do an in my form, there's an articulation of the hand where you wind up one dragon shape or the other dragon shape. But there's also mantis in it, there's also all this stuff in it. But people that see my form, that do other martial arts, the most thing is I always say the shaking the dragon's tail. Because one of the moves of doing the silk reeling and getting the shake power, which is more like karate and like crane, but when you combine that with the tail movement, the coiling and the hand posture, it looks like Chinese dragons. It looks like the lion dance, or like or when you see like in the Chinese restaurants, like the old pictures where you have like this really long dragon that's swimming in the air. So people make the association when they see my silk reeling. It looks like that. So like the form I do, when I started doing it, we mixed that with water, like a little bit of water style I did, it has this look. And like those small sections that, shaking the dragon's tail, people are like, oh, that's the most important thing. But it's really not. It's the whole idea was to make the universal theory of martial art form, in a sense. Oh, it should apply to everything. I'll explain this tail theory. So, sorry, my body hurts. Okay, guys, I don't take medication, so I need to medicate myself to be able to move properly. I've been working out for the first time in 5 years. Everything hurts. Give me a second. So, normally people stand with an interior pelvic tilt. And I'm going to put my pants like this so you can see the tilt. All right? I'll tighten this up. I'm going to do the old man pants, okay? High waist. Okay, so most people will walk and stand like this. They'll have a curve and their butt sticks out, right? So if you imagine your tailbone is sticking out, you're going to have the tail hanging out. Where's my sword? I'll use the stick. It'd be easier with the sword. I'm going to stick up my ass. So if my tailbone's here, the tail will be over here, right? But 99% of martial arts want you to be here. So where this will be flat. Understand? So 99% of martial arts, boxing, everything I've ever trained in my life wants you to have a neutral pelvic tilt. Some of the Tai Chi styles want you to have a posterior tilt where it's overdone. Some of like the Wing Chun guys, they overdo the tilt. I mean, some Tai Chi Wing Chun do the same thing. It's all the same family of shit. So I use this as a visual cue for beginner students to understand, put your tail on the ground, right? Now when you shake your tail, that's where all this fudging, shaky, the hard fudging comes from. Is when you can get your pelvic tilt to be level and you can shake your tail. Understand? And this is a universal theory in martial arts. You know? So that's what, like that, when you start seeing like a yang style form, and you start seeing, you know, roll back and press, like there's millions of variations of this. Everybody's a little different. Every school, they start changing the way the form looks. When you start seeing my form, it starts to look more coiled. So it starts to like get a little more coiled, right? And there's a reason for that, but we'll get into that later. But when people start seeing this type of movement, that shaking of the dragon's tail creates a lot of very interesting components. You know, there's something about like how in karate, because I base everything on my karate style, because to me, my karate that I learned, I think is the most pure lineage that goes back to the Chinese version of the mechanics. Because like Shotokan to me is broken because all the mechanics are sideways. So my grandmaster, what he did was he corrected the form, and it looks much more similar to the old Chinese hand, which is what's called Hang Sino, is the China hand, right? And I have like the original first version of Hang Sino. So all those forms are very square. You know what I mean? So when you combine that theory and use that as the frame set for the geometry, all the Tai Chi that I do first has to align with that base geometry. Because I don't agree with a lot of there's some Tai Chi styles that do what do they call the step? 6-4 step? I don't know, 6-4 step? But they'll do this step, right? Where the stances are in a line. That shit doesn't work against modern people or when you're in close quarters, you gotta move fast. It's cool in demos, but it doesn't, now, I do teach that in the form for applications, but my point is if I'm here, I can go to that step and add the step later. So my toes are really fucked. But I can add that traditional step in later when I need it, just as you would add brush knee twist step. But it's not practice in my form because the mean average of all the arts I've done, it doesn't coincide. It doesn't work together. So that's how that came about. So where were we? So yeah, so basically this dragon tail analogy teaches you one to get a neutral tilt, and you can actually think of it like you have a tail on the ground, and you're sitting on the ground on your tail. Okay? So that when you make this shake, you're just wagging your tail, you're a happy dragon. You know, that makes sense? And this is where, like all the martial arts that do anything cool, like that's where the power comes from. You know, the 9-section whip or the cannon fist, right? So without that proper alignment, none of this works. You know, because the body is a system of gears and sticks. So if you have like a stick with like a gear and like a pivot. Right, so that's how I've been teaching for the last 20 years. You know, I don't remember exactly where I coined the term from the dragon's tail. I think it may have been Metaphysics, but I've been saying that, you know, put your tail on the ground since the 1990s. I started teaching when I was 16, and I started using that analogy by the time I was 18. But I don't know when we started calling it dragon. But students who have recently been doing my form, because I haven't taught this version of the form to like 5 people before. You know, what was that? Yes, because my theory is that timing comes from the outside, power comes from the inside. And you have to split your mind when you're practicing. When you're fighting, everything's outside. The tower is outside. You have to dissolve yourself and be outside. If you're sitting there worrying about, oh, my internal, this is when these guys can fucking handle themselves. Because they're all narcissistic and self-involved. When you're playing push hands, you have to dissolve. Meaning, like, there is no me at that point. Like, which sounds weird because I'm like the bad boy of Tai Chi, arrogant guy, big mouth. But if you watch me play, that's not who I am. You understand? You have to not be there. You have to be everywhere else at once. And that's a very hard concept for people to understand. Everything's outside. Like, Tai Chi is the most external martial art that there is. It is the most external martial art that there is. Because the only way to get the internal is to dissolve and have no internal to get. That's, like, in my opinion, the highest level. Like, when you're playing push hand, you have to not be there. You have to have all the internal, all this practice done to a point where once you touch hands, you go in the Japanese, you call it the mushin, right? Because a lot of my training has crossed over from karate into, because that's what I did first for 25 years. And then, you know, I started with Zen, like Buddhism, before I went into Chinese, Chan and Pure Land Buddhism. So, to me, a lot of my theory still was very Japanese. And getting to that no-mind place where your awareness is everywhere else, you bring that back into your training. The power training, yes, we're thinking, oh, I have to think from the inside, splitting, you know, rooting, you know, zongding, all this stuff. It's all internal, thinking of what's the align my body, how to, but your timing has to be external. Everything has to be timed from the outside of the ball. Right? If you're thinking, oh, I gotta move my dantian, to move the elbow, to move the hand, to do, you're all fucked up. You're all fucked up. You guys do that with doing each other. If you're thinking, I have to move from my belly button and tuck my tailbone and move my arm and do the thing and do the thing, your mind's proprioception is dictated by the distal point. I say this for how many years in this channel? 10 years? You gotta think from the outside. So I gotta think my finger. If I move my finger, the whole body wants to move behind it. The only thing I have to do in the training mode is teach the body to keep the lines. Once that happens, you get your mind out of here. You know, so that's why, going back to the point of the tail, is that I want my students to be thinking, here's my energy bubble, the hyperbolic torus field, you know? And everything's on this bubble. Like, you know, where are my fingertips? Where are my elbows? Where are my knees? Where are my hips? Where's my shoulder? Where's my head? Where's my asshole? Okay? You get them thinking inside, the whole fucking thing falls apart. You know what I mean? The only thing you be thinking inside is when you're working on the Qigong aspect. But if you don't have the frame correct, the intent is bent. You know? It doesn't make any sense. I like, is that the son or the father? I like them a lot. My only problem I've ever had with the Montague family was when his father was still alive, you know, respect, was that he used to say, oh, this is how karate moves. But then he would also say how bad, you know, the martial arts got degraded. The only problem I had was when he would talk about karate, he was talking about the mainstream, the same way he talked about the mainstream Tai Chi. The karate I learned didn't move like that. The karate I learned did not move like the way he was describing it. But then I understand, I can't argue because most of the karate I've seen outside move like that. But my question is, what is soul? It doesn't end. But the problem is what people think soul is. Right? What does it mean? And this is my problem with the modern Tai Chi, is people don't understand you cannot translate a Chinese word directly into English. The late father, right? I don't remember the Earl, right? And also my glasses, I've had this same prescription for 20 years, and they're not very good, so I have a little trouble seeing. But I have a lot of respect for the man, you know, like I understand him, you know, I understand his theory and the principle, like I agree with him more than I agree with most of the Tai Chi people. Right, but this is the problem I have, is that when people aren't careful, because how many, you see a clip, and then they take the clip out of context, and then they think, oh, we're going to follow the master, and the master said this, that means, and they don't realize that's what he means. You know what I mean? That's why, like, you know, that's my only issue with the guy. And there was something else his son was doing. when it comes to the training, it was the tracking that's been lost. And the fact that they don't have any Wu. Because the problem with the guys who do the Wu side of the Yang style, they can't fight the way of fucking one paper bag. But at the same time, to say that the Wu style of Tai Chi is completely useless, you're failing the cause. My karate teacher said to me like this. He said, karate is a hard, soft style, and Tai Chi is a soft, hard style. And that's how I learned before the internet, because there was no internet, just like books and the fucking crazy psychopaths that were beating the shit out of me as a kid. So, to me, my knowledge was, karate was hard, soft, right? You train really hard at a young age, and you train, and you train so hard that you learn the softness, and then you blend in. Tai Chi was supposed to soften you and then build up to hardness, and you wind up meeting in the same place. That was how I looked at Tai Chi up until 2010, until I started getting involved with the online, maybe early in that 2000s, because I had online presence in Tai Chi since 2001, with like the other sites that what the fuck is it? I don't even know the name of the sites anymore. There's so long, MySpace and the other fucking shit like in China. Fucking, what the fuck was it? I don't know. There's some other fucking site with the white pages. Right, we're on YouTube time. What was it, 2003 or 6? What the fuck was it? I don't know. But when I started seeing the other people and the modern people, I didn't know about wushu versions of Tai Chi. I only knew about William Chen's style, Chen Manching style, and then the derivatives of that. I didn't really know the history because they didn't speak English. The people that were making the park and they played with the sword. So this fucking 90-year-old lady it was like 2001. This chick, she had to be at least 90. She was like this big. She was like a heavy doll, like a fucking real heavy ass sword. She would be there every day. And this old lady, she would take this sword, and I'm talking about on a dime. The sword had to be 5 pounds or something. I mean, that's heavy for a sword. But she'd be out there every morning moving the slowest I've ever seen. You don't understand how hard that shit is. So I see these random old people in those days. They're and they were doing stuff I didn't even know the names of. I got sidetracked, sorry, but some of these conversations, they bring up core memories. But yeah, everything was supposed to be internally. That was what we're talking about. Because what the fuck is internal? And you see in my other video, there's all of this. Internal is interning all. Interning all. So it's inside, I'm turning all the things. Karate moves the same way. It doesn't matter who you are. I used to say it's a clock. A lot of people say it's a gear. It's a gear system. Or sprockets on a motorcycle. There's a lot of analogy I use a lot of times. It reminds me of a chain. And the sprockets of a motor, a sprocket? A sprocket is a gear, right? It has the teeth, and they move, and they cut each other. So if you look at a bicycle chain, this was my analogy from the 90s, is you had this one big chain and one small chain. When I first learned Wing Chun, the chain punching, I used to think of it as a bicycle chain. And I'm using the bicycle chain, right? I'm just giving you an idea. You can see the circle, making it big. I know people that say do it to the point is you see this chain, right? So your body is a system of these gears and chains. That's all it is. It's inside is turning all things. Tai Chi is more about my method is you're in this bubble, and then imagine that there's bubbles everywhere there can be a bubble. So there's a bubble here, there's a bubble here, there's a bubble here, there's a bubble here, there's a bubble inside. And anytime there's a bubble between your hands. Anytime the bubble in the hands move, every single bubble has to respond to this bubble. So anytime there's a move in one of the bubbles, it has to, the whole bubble system has to react instantly. So what is the internal? And then we get really good at this. For instance, people misunderstand karate. When you learn karate, you learn these big moves. Right? That's not how you practice. Yeah, you could get a big wind up and break somebody. The whole goal is to be able to do it from here. The whole goal is to be, that's it. To get the same power you have here, like that. And that's all the master level. So if you see me sparring in karate style, you see me just go like this, and I'll parry. But from doing it 20 years, I get almost the same amount of force if I went like this. So it's in, turning, all. That's my analogy. And when you look at it like that, and you go back to everything being like crane and snake, we're all a family of martial arts. Not this, you know? Yeah, but is it really? See, that's the problem. Nobody can agree on what Song really is, because what you're saying is actually a combination of a whole bunch of things. My opinion, Song only means to release the tension around the hinges. That's it. If you release the tension around the hinges, the blood pours down. In my method, that's Song to me. What you said is not incorrect. Who can fucking argue with it? Because the Chinese word has no direct English correlation. But from my 40 years of training, my understanding of Song is when you release the tension on the joints, it creates vasodilation. It opens up the veins and the arteries. When the arteries are released, the blood can flow down. The tension is released from the joints. Now, you get tension from expansion. So now instead of constricting the blood vessels, we expand the tension on the string. So it's like having a guitar string, and we pull the guitar string as tight as we can. That creates a different kind of tension than contractive tension. When you connect expansive tension with the vasodilation, allowing the hinges where the crossover of the veins open up, the blood can flow freely. As the blood flows down with that counter stretch pressure, you now have soul. That's my opinion. All this other stuff, are you wrong? Whose lineage are you teaching? Whose lineage are you practicing? I don't know. And that's the fucking problem with Tai Chi, is that everybody wants to be the fucking know-it-all, you know, and most of the people, they can't use it. You know, like, at least I can use my stuff. Like, you know, I prove I can use the stuff. This is how I look at it. Someone's going to come on the internet and say, this is wrong. You know, what you said is a viable option. In many lineages, people would say all those things equal so. Who the fuck am I to argue with them? You know, that's the craziest thing. Like, I'm supposed to be the bad boy asshole, but just because I speak like I'm from Brooklyn, people like completely overlook the fact that when I say it makes the most sense and like the most inclusive. You know? I don't know. But in my method, I always speak about how I teach. Song, people say, oh, it's sinking. It's all these, it's like, Song means like relax, but people think of it sinking. And when you think of sinking, you think of the whole body going like this. That's not Song. Song is when you can get because the Tai Chi, the real Tai Chi, the closed door shit, is all about moving your blood around. It's all about like, can I open up these like joints and stuff and push my blood around and move it to different organs and shit. Well, what you're saying are all separate conditions to get the Tai Chi machine to start working. But that's everything I learned in karate first. Everything you just said is everything I learned in karate and Zen and Buddhism. Before I did any Tai Chi, I learned all that. Everything you just said. Like when you go into like here, once you go here, everything releases. Like you're in that zone. You get the zone D, the same exact thing. Because what's the first move in karate? What's the first move in Tai Chi? It's the same fucking thing. What's with the title? Yeah, I'll show you. I'll show you what the thing is. This is the thing. This was once my toenail. How cool is that, huh? Huh? Well, I was trying to be funny. I was trying to be funny, but it's actually a real thing. Eagle visions, you will thought for me. I mean, James, it sounds legit to me, but I wouldn't call that sung. I would call that a bunch of different techniques that are prerequisites before we start. You know, I think that's like the foundation. But to call it sung is like something separate to me. But are you wrong? I can't say that, you know, because people think that's what it is. So how did it happen? Every time I fucking move, I've had to move seven times in 6 years. The last 3 times I've moved, I've dropped things on my toes. Well, this time, I drove my motorcycle off the fucking 7-foot ramp, rode my motorcycle, didn't get a scratch. Middle of the night, like 1 a.m., I'm fucking packing the truck, the cabin light's off, and I had like these little like slip-on shoes, and I had this huge box, and I kicked a fucking cooler, and it was agonizingly painful, and I thought the toenail would stay on, but the day before the World Tai Chi day, it popped, and I had to cut it off. So I took like the scissor, and I cut the skin off, because I just had to do surgery on it. I couldn't do it anymore. You know, James is a good idea, but I want to keep it as a souvenir because listen, I've fucked myself up so many times, and I've had to give myself surgery a couple of times. Like I've given myself stitches. I've glued myself together. You know, because like when I was on the mountain, I pulled out my own teeth. This was the best surgery I've ever done. Like this was a clean cut. Like you can still see the blood from when I made the cuts, but like of all the like at-home surgery. This is my favorite. You know, Steven Seagal gets a lot of hate. Steven Seagal's actually kind of a cool dude, a badass motherfucker. You know, like, but there's a lot of other people. I would think more like Tung Po from Kickboxer, or like Pai Mei, or like anybody from a death metal band. Like anybody. You know, like I can run. If I have to. Steven Seagal runs like this, you know. But Steven Seagal should get a lot more respect than he does. And, you know, I'm making fun of it, like the dude can fuck people up. Dude's like not a fucking joke. I mean, dude's like 6'6". He was you know, even though he had his show, he was a fucking sheriff. Dude was, you know, he was doing some real shit. You know, he's a womanizer. But he trained with some crazy people. I mean, after he became the Aikido guy, he's trained in a lot of other martial arts. People don't pay attention. Like, imagine like he was already respected in that world. Then was a fucking millionaire, fucking movie star going all over the world. He can train whatever the fuck he wants. He knows all the high level people. So people are like, he does Aikido. Like that dude doesn't only do Aikido. That dude's very smart and he's trained his entire life. And people talk so much shit. Of all the fucking people, Steven Seagal, listen, like I know I got fat, but I've been training, you know, I'm getting my muscles back, you know, little by little. Like 7 years I took off, 6 years I took off, okay? You know, I'm getting back in shape, guys. Look at this, look at these triceps, look at that, okay? I'm getting back in shape. This is week 2, okay? Look at that shit. I'm getting there, okay? You know, I'm getting there. Give me a fucking break. You say I'm Steven Seagal, bro. Like, I know I got out of shape for a little while, but not that out of shape. Fuck. It's the Tai Chi. I blame the Tai Chi. That's all I did for the last 6 years. I mean, I got poisoned. I had surgery. I couldn't really do anything else. But I also didn't want to do anything else because, like, I haven't been like I'm not a personal trainer anymore. I don't have to look like a fitness guru anymore. You know, but now I have to because my collaboration with Sifu Shirley. I have to get back in shape because I gotta show people how it's done. While I'm still young enough. And also, some fucking people talk so much shit, I'm gonna go on a revenge tour. I'm gonna smack some people up. Like, someone's gonna catch it. There's so many of these guys that have been chasing me around for 20 fucking years talking all this fucking shit. And I'm gonna have to show them, like, you know, you really shouldn't have poked the bear. You should have left the fucking lion alone in the cage in captivity. That's fucked up, James. That's fucked up. I mean, I think I look pretty good for a guy going on fucking, 50. You know what I mean? Like almost a half century old. I know I'm not old for the Tai Chi world, but in karate world, I'm ancient. You know, in boxing world, I'm ancient. In trainer world, I'm ancient. Like when I was a trainer at Equinox, I was in my 30s. I was like old for a trainer, you know? And I was competing with 20-year-old guys just coming out of fucking school, powerlifting and shit. They couldn't keep up with me. So, I mean, I look pretty good for my age, you know? Thank you. I appreciate it. It's Kung Fu, not eating meat, and hot chicks. You gotta keep a game up, man. Oh, you know, I tried to do and prove that the Tai Chi does the Tai Chi thing. And I think I proved it, you know? Like, if I shave my beard, people always think I'm like 30, you know? And as you see me training, I'm gonna like reverse my age. It's gonna look fucking crazy. People are like, they're not gonna believe it. And they just say, oh, they're gonna probably tell me I'm on steroids, because people just say I was on fucking steroids when I was like superhero jacked. Like people are like, oh yeah, I'm like, dude, the only thing I'm eating is fruit and pizza. It's like, they don't want to hear it. But I also, because my autism, I found ways of cheating, like trainer hacks. So I found all the hacks like that there are. So I can like, I train like a lion, sleep like a dog, walk sprightly like a pigeon. I just do what the master said to do. And that's the fucking thing, is like because I wasn't neurodivergent until 5-10 years ago. I was gifted and talented, but now I'm retarded and I have autism and I'm neurodivergent. But I take things very literally. So when I read the books in the 90s and early 2000s, I took it literally. Okay, you're training like a lion, sleep like a dog, or swing like a pigeon. Okay, how's a lion train? You know, and I just do that. But there's also like high-level trainer geek stuff. Like that's why you're gonna see me get like pretty. I'm gonna get pretty buff pretty quick. This is like my second week. And if you look at the streams for the last couple of weeks, you'll see the changes. It's just I just know how to cheat the system. You know, that's why I never understood it. Like I was a kid, like all the nerds. Like I'm like, if you're really so smart, why aren't you buffing all your stats, bro? Like if you're playing Dungeons and Dragons, like I didn't do Dungeons and Dragons thing, but I played like for a little while. I was like 15 or 16, and my friends made this character. I was like this warrior monk mage guy, and I remember the stats. And we're like, this is really similar to like real life, and I gotta buff my stats up. So that's how that went. But there are definitely ways. Lifestyle trumps epigenetics. Lifestyle will trump epigenetics. Like your lifestyle will override most of your gene shit. Unless you're me, like the fact I'm still alive, guys, like I shouldn't be alive. Just on the stress that I've had to deal with in the last 10 years, forget my whole life. My body was eating itself from the stress. You know? And like you become very susceptible to things when you're stressed out and you're dealing with but just humans. Like I don't have problems of my own. All of my problems come from other people. And like the less other people I have involved in my inner world, the easier it is to do the thing. But I that's what I wanted to do, is document my journey here and pass on the thing. And show what can be done and what can be done, Like, I use myself as a live case study. But yeah, most people don't know how old I am, Dan. Like, they think I'm like a little kid, which I like. I like them to think I'm naive and stupid. It's You know, it works out to my benefit. I tell people I'm Gen X and they don't listen. It depends on that was my specialty as a trainer. My claim to fame was post-rehab. Like I dealt with people who were all fucked up. Like I'm the guy that the doctors used to come to me when they were fucked, and they went, like I had this one radiologist for his shoulder, I had other, like, when there's nothing else that can be done, they would come to me and ask me, what do you do? Because they tried everything else. It depends on the pre-existing condition, and it also depends on what your goal is. You know? What kind of skin issue? You know, I can tell you a little secret that, you know, a lot of like dermatitis and contact dermatitis and like all this other weird stuff, a lot of it can be fixed with dander shampoo. Now, I'm not allowed to give medical advice. I can just tell you what I've seen and what I've done for myself if I have like contact dermatitis or anything weird. But Head and Shoulders, wash with Head and Shoulders, and do that for a couple of weeks and see what happens. I got this from a dermatologist. Oh, yeah, so that's, well, what I would recommend is, in that case, is castor oil. Now, again, I'm not allowed to give medical advice. I have to give a disclaimer. But me as a friend, what I would do for myself is I would use castor oil. Yeah, castor oil is a very interesting thing. You know, I have to be careful what I say, but castor oil, if you look into it, has some very interesting properties. And it does some very interesting things, like how your body reacts to castor oil. So if it's like a contact dermatitis thing, I always tell people dander shampoo, Head and Shoulders. But when it's something a little more serious, I would say castor oil, and use that like every single day. And castor oil for like, you know, just as a moisturizer is acceptable, but it has some very interesting properties you need to look into. So I actually have, so this is what I use, and this is, you gotta make sure you get one that's hexene free. Oh, is am I in the right? Sorry, I'm trying to look at the camera angle because I'm rear-facing camera. Sorry, give me a second. So you got to make sure when you get the castor oil that it doesn't have that hexene shit in it. That's the most important thing. This is the brand that I use. I've had good results with it. I've given some of my clients in my. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but that's what I would suggest. And I drink this stuff. I actually take spoons of this. So, no, any kind of castor oil will work, but if you're gonna invest and you're gonna spend $20, just get the good one. Make sure it just says hexene free. It's this. You look into it, you see what I mean. It may be like $3 to $5 more. Spend the $3 to $5. Don't be a cheap bastard when it comes to this stuff. That's what I recommend. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not allowed to give medical advice. I can just tell you what I do. Okay? I can tell you what I do. So like my 3 go-tos, I have like 5 go-tos. You know what I mean? My 5 go-tos are baking soda, apple cider vinegar with the mother, castor oil, whiskey, and coconut oil. This is like my 5 go-tos, depending on what the thing is. And this is the only, I only drink this whiskey, and like, you know, like, it's really just my substitute for ibuprofen, because I'm allergic to fucking most medications. So, And I only drink in the house before I go to sleep. Like, you'll never see me outside drinking, ever. Like, I might have one beer somewhere. And that's like a big deal. Because I'm way too paranoid from working in the fucking clubs and doing security and shit. Like, I'm too paranoid. When I go outside, I'm constantly, like, fucking scanning everything, like a fucking, you know, like CPTSD all over the place. I'm, like, always, like, waiting for the ninjas to pop up. But yeah, if you have but again, for a pre-existing condition, like, as long as the condition is not contagious, there's no reason why you can't play with the people you can't train. And in fact, Tai Chi should help you. Oh, I can't respond to you, but we know what it is. Okay? It's an immune response that your body does not like having toxins in it. I'm not allowed to say what's actually going on. But castor oil is the thing with the castor oil, you have to do it for months. It takes time, but it helps. No, Dan, what you're saying is, I've had this with my clients happen. When I have like steroidal fucking, it happens. People react very weird. So what you're saying is most likely. With James, however, we know what happened. But, you know, I would be careful. You know, it's not going to matter because they're not going to admit it. Depending on what country you're in, they're not going to admit it. What I can tell you about castor oil is that your body has a very interesting way of reacting to castor oil. And what it does is the cells in your body, it tells them to do things. It's a weird thing. Look into it. But for a condition like that, you're going to have to stay on the cycle for a long time. You can't just rub it on. It's like Tai Chi. Tai Chi is not something you learn in a day. Tai Chi is like I tell my students, even karate, same thing. You put a layer of paint on the wall once or twice a day. At the end of the year, you have 365 coats of paint. It's not going to be a quick fix. I will tell you, if you look into this, it's most likely going to be the thing that helps you, is the castor oil. But look into it. You know, it's just unfortunate that people got forced into doing that stupid shit. I didn't do it, which is why I went to isolation. I would do it 2-3 times a day. It's not going to kill you. I mean, I literally drink the shit. You know, I literally drink the shit. My mother had a cancer issue, and I have her taking it internally. I swear by this stuff. You know what I mean? So I would do it 3 times a day if it was me. You know, like, again, not giving advice. What I would do is I would put my shit on 2 or 3 times a day. The only thing is we got to get used to it because it's very oily and it takes time to set. What you may want to do is put a compress with the stuff on it and sleep with it. Like, put a compress of it and like wrap your hand and do that every night. That would probably be the best thing to do. It's like every night before you go to sleep, put a shit ton on, you know, like really get it in there, massage it in, and then bandage it so it stays on the fucking skin. It's very oily. It takes a long time to get inside you. Yeah, James, the castor oil is on the top of the list for this because it affects molecularly your body, the T cells in the body, like the antibodies, they react to it. And it's like, it tells the body how to deal with that thing. It's really interesting. You can use cotton gloves. I mean, depending on how, it's probably, because if you have it on the thing, it's probably better to use gloves. Just rub it on everywhere and put the glove on. That's what I would do. Fucking James is like, yeah, but for both of you guys, like, this is what I recommend, and like, but again, don't expect. You guys know, you guys are old enough. So you guys, there's no quick fixes. Like, I've been fucked for the last couple of years. You guys, if I told you guys this real story, you'd be like, what? Did you survive? Like, I should be dead, like 10 times over. And, you know, like, I don't have insurance, I don't have anything. Like I've literally had to perform like little mini surgeries. I give myself stitches, I give myself fucking all kinds of stuff. The dentist almost killed me. I got poisoned 3 times. I had shit, like, you know, so like, I can tell you as someone who survived as like the renegade monk in the middle of nowhere, these are the things that I do for myself that kept me alive, like there's nobody around. Crazy glue, duct tape, you're in a bind, like crazy glue will fucking stitch you up. Crazy glue will stick in some duct tape. You know? It really is. Actually, crazy glue was invented for that purpose. That was like I'm pretty sure that was the reason crazy glue was invented. And I've used it many times. You know, like I've been in the field, I've glued people together. I've seen some shit in my day. During the lockdown, I stepped on it was 4 o'clock in the morning. I got into the middle of a cat brawl, and I got bit and scratched and kicked the wall and punched the wall. Because it was 4 in the morning, I was busted my knuckle, my toenail, my toe came all the way up, and the only thing I had was crazy glue. I didn't have lights, I didn't have water, there was no running water, there was no lights, and the only thing I had was crazy glue, and that's how I put my knuckle back in place. And you can't even be able to see the scar. I'll show you. So, see, I can't see the camera, I have to wait until the stream catches up. But you can't even see the scar. It's like a straight line. That's how good it came together. But you can see the bone. It was like all the way through. I mean, this is why, you know, I feel like, you know, God prepared me for these crazy times. Because having shitty fucking parents, you know, growing up Gen X, having crazy militant assassins training me as a kid, growing up in the fucking concrete jungle, like alone, running around the streets, like, I wouldn't have made it this far. And then, obviously, my masters who came, you know, the gods put them on my path, and a few friends that was sent at the right times, I'd be dead. Like, I shouldn't be here. And that's why people don't understand. Like, I take my, you know, spirit, I don't call it religion, because the religion, my spiritual practice I take very serious. But my spiritual practices are different than most people, they don't understand. You know, I've learned to step outside the boxes, and people don't want to hear that. But like any other genius philosopher person, they're crazy until they're not, you know? Like eventually people are going to catch up. That's when I'm dead probably. I'll be fucking dead and like, oh, he was so smart, he helped everybody. Because you know, if something actually happened to me, and people, all the internet scumbags who hate on me but copy my shit, if that was something that happened to me, they'd all be the first ones giving me like some fucking memorial or talking about how they loved my content and they fucking, you know, these assholes. These fucking assholes. Let me see if I can do something with this light situation. It's really annoying. This is the first time I'm streaming with the studio actually done. Does that change the light at all? No, I gotta do something with that. Hey, what's up, Dave? What's up, homie? Right, because when you hit the bag, like I have my older videos when I was still working in the gym, you see me hitting the bag. It's a 75-pound bag. And I never felt anything. Because the energy leaves. Yeah. James knows the thing. Chill like a villain. Salute. Yeah, but if you only have like, it's just external, the castor oil is going to help. And coconut oil, those are the two things I would go to. But the castor oil will actually heal you. The coconut oil is only going to moisturize your shit. Like castor oil is known to like for like skin and stuff. I can say that legitimately. There's like science backing it up. The other stuff I can't tell you. You have to look on your own. But because I'm already in enough trouble. Okay, I can't give any fucking legal, medical, financial advice here. Okay, you fucking get me thrown off already. But as for like hitting the, you know, as long as when it comes to hitting a bag, the only thing you have to worry about, because I always train, like I worked in a professional boxing gym. You'll never see me use gloves in a bag. In the last 30 years, I always hear bare knuckle. But I learned my lesson the hard way, and I have scars from it. Like, not these scars. These scars are from fucking power breaking. These scars over here are from the bag. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. I mean, you can see my knuckles are fucked. I'm gonna back up a little bit. Maybe that'll help. But I mean, my knuckles are fucked. Like, I used to have like huge. Like, if you look at my knuckles, you'll see the calcium deposits. You'll see like there's like white specks under the skin. Let me try to. My knuckles are fucked. Like they're just fucked. But I have like these weird scars on these knuckles. We say when doing normal stuff, bloody painful do the skin blade. Yeah, the nerves are on the outside. That's why the paper cuts hurt the most. But the only time you hurt yourself hitting a bag is number one. I was telling everybody, when you look at a heavy bag, there's always a seam. If you're fucking practicing bare knuckles, do not hit that seam. You know, don't hit the seam. The other thing is when you give yourself one burn from grazing, as long as you stab the bag, you're okay. I did it for 30 fucking years. I never hit a bag with gloves. I never used wraps. I never used gloves. Like that's for fucking pussies. And that's why professional like boxers, when they get into real fights, they break their hands all the time. Like I heard like Mike Tyson broke his hands in real street fights, and all these fucking their hands are soft from having a fucking mush on it. To me, the hack was just not being a fucking moron. Don't hit the seam of the bag and don't graze the bag. You want to think like you're Wolverine and stab through the bag. You've seen me do it on my, if you look through my oldest videos, you'll see me hitting the bag. As long as you stab straight through with the knuckles, you don't have any problems. I would hit the bag for hours, like hours and hours and hours and hours. I never had a problem. Like, I never had that problem. I mean, like literally for hours. But before I got, like, let me think. But karate teacher had like a big water-filled bag, and I used to hit that shit every fucking day. I never had he would never let me wear gloves. That was like Satan. Like when I went like the tournaments in the 90s and had to wear the fucking, he hated Jun Lee's guts because Jun Lee was, his is an offshoot of, because I'm directly from Grandmaster Wang Kuk Lee. So Jun Lee is one of his students. So when Jun Lee invented safety punch and safety kick, which is basically what you know of as the Taekwondo karate sparring gear, my teacher fucking hated that shit. My first tournament, I was begging him, please let us practice with you before we go to it. You don't need to practice that shit. He was so mad. You know, and I wanted to put it on before I went to go fight. Because when you put it, you feel like fucking Ronald McDonald. It's just so stupid. You have to wear that shit all the time to feel good in it. But we never used that shit. We used this fucking concrete, push on the wood and concrete, and there was none of that shit. The history that I know of Sistema, that no one's gonna like me saying, is that Sistema is a mixture of Sambo and Chen-style Tai Chi from these two prison guards. These two guards were working in a prison. It was a Chen-style guy and a Sambo guy. And they made a style, and then like the government or the military or somebody got involved and had these scientists start adding extra shit, and it became the system. Then later on, because I remember this from the early of YouTube, then later on they started adding this propaganda like it's just some old ancient bullshit. Bullshit. I remember the story very fucking clearly. It was Chen style Tai Chi and Russian Sambo mixed together with some crazy Russian scientists drinking vodka. There was no ancient fucking Russian bullshit. Okay? Because, no. It's Chen style Tai Chi and Sambo, and then some fucking crazy science and stuff. That's the story I learned up until the beginning of YouTube, and then later on when it got popular, they made this other story. But Chen style people are known for this bullshit. Chen style is like, look, I love Chen practical method. I love it. I respect Chen style. Like, when anybody, of any Tai Chi people, Chen style is at the top of my list of people I respect. His body mechanics and understanding, his teaching, top notch. The rest of the Chen people are full of shit. They're so full of shit. They make up stories, and honestly, I know someone's showing about this. The Yang style, like, you have historical records of the Yang stylists everywhere beating the fuck out of people. The only time you hear a good story about the Chen style is from Chen style people. You know? And it's always, they wasn't even called Chen, it wasn't called Tai Chi. They became Tai Chi because Yang style became so famous, and the Yang styles are lower class than the Chen that they had to give it up to the Chen style because they were higher caste. It's all bullshit. Right. But looseness and song, I don't know the same thing. You know? I like Earl Montague's style. You know, like the young Chuck, I've felt that form. I got to play with like there's two old Chinese dudes that were showing me some of that stuff. So I got to incorporate some of the theory. I've watched a lot of the fucking old videos. So I incorporated some of the theory, but I don't believe Tai Chi is a style. Tai Chi is a set of principles. You know what I mean? And then when you get into this my style is better than your style shit, you lose the whole game. You lose the fucking game. And honestly, I think Chen style is very good, but it's not, there's things missing. And maybe Chen style 100 years ago was different. The only Chen style I have real respect for is the practical method guys. And even then, I don't think that anybody who does just that style could stop me from kicking them in the face. You know, I'm just saying, like, it's a great system, it's great for self-defense, great for push hands, but like, there's a reason why, you know, Invincible Young is the top of the list, and like, you know, like the old school karate was top of the list for a while. You know, it's simple, it works. Yeah, but I don't think, because the karate that I learned, I first learned karate when I was a really little kid from an exchange student. It was really crazy, like some fucking Senzo Tanaka shit. I don't even know the fucking kid's name. I don't remember the kid's name. All I remember was that I was like 6 years old, I was his only friend, I went to his house, and it said, "Daddy, can I show?" And he goes, "Os." And then he fucking brings me in the backyard and takes they were building something in the backyard, takes a regular red brick. This kid's like 7 years old. And just breaks a fucking red brick. Okay? That was my first understanding of karate. And then like what they taught me, like, you know, like this just taught me basic stuff. But it was enough for a little kid. Like I was kicking kids' asses. I didn't learn like a whole thing, but they showed me how to throw a good, you know, like a karate kind of punch and like a front kick and a side kick. That was enough for a 6-year-old, you know? And then I learned the karate that I learned was from the Korean Tiger Division. Like it's directly from what they use in Vietnam. So like I have a different version of karate. The bag should jump. So when you hit a bag properly, it should fold and jump up and down. Like that's the right way to hit a bag, is the bag should fold. You should see it fold and it should go up and down. If it just swings, you're not doing it right. Like my master, when I was training karate, like the first I learned, like when you hit the bag, you want to make it jump. That was always the thing with my karate teacher. was the bag has to go up and down more than it goes left to right or forward backwards. You want to make the bag jump. Like it should feel like the chains get shorter and fall down. And I learned that from karate, you know what I mean? And then when I learned William Chen's style of boxing in the 90s, and you know, that was the thing, like I hit in the fucking chest. It was like, oh shit. Like it was like a fucking bomb went off of my back. So I just immediately mixed them together. It was like so easy for me. Shaking is a low level. The higher level is when it jumps. So shaking is like the first level of jumping. The bag should pop. When you hit a bag hard enough, it should pop up and down. That's when you know you really fucked the bag up. Because what happens is it folds, and when it unfolds, it creates this whiplash, and the bag goes up and down. And there's nothing wrong with being self-taught, you know, but the problem with being self-taught is there's a limit. There's things that, if you don't have somebody watching you who has the eye, who has the, first of all, there's like, from my father's 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 father, you know, like, there's things you can't get. Like I was telling Clement, you know, like there's things that he's doing because he doesn't have a master watching him. He's getting to a point where it's dangerous. There's other things you don't learn, like there's little secrets that you just can't get without a master teaching you. And with the internal styles, until you have someone touch you, you don't know the real thing. Self-taught game. Well, if you guys have been watching me, you're not self-taught. You've been watching me, you've been taught by me. You know, like, so you didn't have personal teaching, but at least you have a fucking guidepost. You know? Yeah, because people are fucking lazy, bro. And Seven's my fucking grandson, and the fucking idiot doesn't fucking press the like button because he's a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. But the problem with self-taught is the same thing that you can't see from the third angle. Like you need to, someone has to be watching from the third angle. You know, because there's a limit to what you can do by yourself. Like, there's a point where in your training, after like 10 years with a good teacher, that you can self-correct. But even me, I'll videotape myself, and I'll watch the video, because I have an understanding. You need a certain amount of experience and things you have to know to be able to self-correct, even with a mirror video. And mirrors will lie to you. That's another fucking thing. But there's experience that's passed on when you touch someone. And there's also a psychic level. And this is going to sound crazy to you guys, but there's a psychic, metaphysical level that you get from being with the master. Even if the master is not on that level, there's still a psychic thing that's changed. You have to touch someone who has it to get to the final levels. This is not possible. It's just not possible. I mean, trust me, like, listen, none of you guys are as stubborn and dedicated as I was. And I couldn't do it, you know? However, it doesn't mean you shouldn't train on your own. I'm just saying, be honest that you're never gonna, I don't want you people who watch me to fucking, my channel to wind up like these fucking paper tiger assholes who think they know everything. I've been doing this 40 fucking years, and I still don't think I know everything. And I know a lot more than the guys who say that they're the masters on these fucking forums. They're like garbage. And I don't feel like I know shit. You know? Like, oh, good job, Dave. Good job. It's about time someone was fucking putting these peasants in their place. You know, when I was younger and I first started on like internet, I was much more altruistic and I didn't understand. I thought there would be more people like me, you know, who understood me. I talked about this in the last stream, like Jake Mace. And all these fucking Tai Chi forum people, everybody went after him. You're the master, you have your own school, you have your own following, you run these groups. Why? You have this kung fu nerd, super wholesome little white boy kid. Why didn't you steal him and make him a student? Not sure if this is true, but it's not true, David. Full money now. ADHD is a superpower, James. It's a fucking superpower. It's not a disability, it's a superpower. Remember what I fucking told you? Like, you know, because I have fucking ADHD, whatever the fuck you call it. Okay? And that's what makes me so good at everything. But, David, it's bullshit. A martial art shouldn't take you more than 3 years to learn. It will take you a lifetime to master. It shouldn't take more than 10, 20 years to get a master's degree. Meaning you are a master capable of teaching experts. Experts teach students, masters teach experts. That's why I'm a master. I literally am certified to teach instructors. That's all it means. This is like fucking nonsense. Oh, it takes 2 lifetimes to learn. You do the form for 20 years. Get the fuck up with this bullshit. It's definitely a success. All I'm saying is that there's a limit, like you have to have a high IQ to be able to do Tai Chi to begin with. You have to have a high IQ, you have to have a good sense of body awareness to be able to become proficient. Even with a teacher who's really good. But if you're on your own, it's really, really hard. And you have to be willing to stick with it and do the fucking work. Because I trained as a full-time job. Like, I trained karate as a full-time job. I was teaching since I was 16. I was working in private security. I was doing all kinds of crazy shit. And I was an asshole. So it was my life. I trained 5 to 7 days a week, like, religiously. Even in my downtime years, I was training 3 days a week and teaching. I've never had a point in my life since I was 16 where I didn't have at least 2 students. Sometimes I have 50 students, sometimes I have 2 students. You know, like, but I've never had a point in my life, ever, where I didn't have at least 2 students. And this has been 30-something fucking years. So I train religiously. You know, you have to really, you know? Well, and this is where I think we need to come to an understanding of what Tai Chi is. Tai Chi is not a style. Tai Chi is a principle set. From there. So the problem with these online communities and these people is that they don't know what the fuck it is. You know? I gotta get to that, James. But first of all, I'm gonna go through this theory about what Tai Chi is. There are systems of lineage of Tai Chi expression, but Tai Chi is not a style. There are styles of people, Kung Fu, that use Tai Chi principle. Tai Chi is not a style. And as for what you just said, James, breathing doesn't matter in Tai Chi. When it comes to Tai Chi fighting, breathing doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with, like, it doesn't matter if you're reverse breathing or breathing this, it's irrelevant. What matters is you're breathing and you're not holding your breath. Because I can do Pung traditionally for Qigong, Pung is an in-breath. But for fighting, Pung should be an out-breath. But when I do it, it doesn't fucking matter. Because in a fight, you have to, and this is the thing, you have to be able to breathe either way. It's more effective to do a reverse punch with a fucking out-breath. But in a fucking real-world fight, you cannot depend on your breathing cycle. So these are the ideas that keep people limited. No, it doesn't matter. The internal Neijin primarily is just expansion force. There's a medical term for it. I can't remember the term. It's very rarely spoken of. But if you can expand your joints. I'm trying to get in the camera so you can see what I'm talking about. I can't see the camera through the stream to delay. Can you see what I just did? Can you see the space in my joint? No, be safe, Dan. Yes, non-medical, non-financial, non-criminal investigation shit. But try it, please. It'll help. It'll take a couple of weeks, but it'll work. I promise you. All right. But Nation, listen. There's like, I'm talking about on the first 4 years of college level of Nation. Okay, not like your master's and doctorate degree. It's just expanding. There's a mechanism, I forgot the name of it, where you cavitate the hinges. You actually can make space. Most of Western medical classes are talking about it. There are people who talk about it as an actual medical term for this. It's just not widely accepted. You can expand every single joint in your body, and you can make space. And that space, mixed with releasing the type 2 muscle, creates vasodilation. That's soul. Okay, that's the actual thing of soul. Everything else that we add to it is metaphysical bullshit, narcissistic assholes trying to be important on the internet. It's nonsense. Okay, the soul is just being able to get my body in a state where the blood can pour down freely without me interacting with it. Then I add the counter pressure strength, which is basically on. Right? When the blood is being able to flow down naturally, that's the foundation of on. Right? Then we have the direction, the mechanical power is the blood being able to pass vasodilation. Pung is when I stretch, okay? And then you have this counter force of the bows on the frame. Those two things combined with the Zhongding is the essence of all Tai Chi, of Tai Chi martial arts, okay? Because Tai Chi is everything. But all these people, they pontificating, they're fucking puffers of useless knowledge. They're narcissistic fucking sociopathic assholes who just want to be like they're better than everybody. It's bullshit. It's a lot simpler than they make it. No, it's not true. Because there's no such thing as correct breathing. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you. There is no correct breathing. It's bullshit. There's more efficient versions of breathing for certain outcomes, but again, a flinch response. Okay, my system is a yawn and a sigh. Okay, so William Chen talks about asleep and awake, awake and asleep. Sorry, he goes sleep and awake, sleep and awake. I talk about the yawn and the sigh, right? So I yawn and go, ah. I go, ah. Those are your two natural breaths, right? You talk about a flinch response. First move in every Tai Chi form, no matter what fucking form it is some form of offense and combatants. Yes! If I get soiled, I'm going to breathe in. But I also can go and breathe out. There is no correct breath. These locking into ideas like this will limit your understanding in the grand scope of the learning. There is no correct breath. The correct breath is breathing. There is a correct breath for one lineage or master's interpretation of the theory, but there is no one correct way. And that's the fucking problem with the Tai Chi community. Everybody wants to be part of some external thing so they can jerk off and be like, my ego's better than your ego. You know, it's nonsense. And this is why people get misled. There is no correct way. There's a correct way. For instance, if you're doing the Chen practical method, there's a correct way for that method. If you're doing that Alan Minzer's fucking woo-woo shit, there's a correct way for his method. But there is no correct way in Tai Chi. That's where everybody's fucking up. Tai Chi is not a style. There is no correct way. There's interpretations of a concept of philosophy applied to on top of the bedrock of other martial arts. Chen style is long fist, okay, with Tai Chi principle. Yang style is snake and crane with Tai Chi principle, you know? Like, obvious, you know, it's obvious fucking white crane in there. Obvious. You know, there's obvious mantis in Yang style. Yang style has a lot of mantis in it. All the single whip is all mantis. All right, this is bullshit. This 3-finger beak is bullshit. It's a mantis hand. It's bullshit. Step up to play guitar is mantis. It's straight out of fucking mantis. Okay? Like straight out. You know, all the trampling steps, when you step up to like parry and punch, this is fucking mantis. It's like straight there. Then you have cows, baji. It's my opinion of the Yang style is that when the Qing were fucking going around killing everybody, they were trying to collect the movement DNA and put it into a system. So like the tongue, you know, tongue carry, it's like the fucking old Tang Dynasty fucking fist. It's just a collection of movements and theories to keep it from the government from killing them. So like when you understand the history, bullshit. It's straight, if you look at there's a guy, CMS, some Chinese shit. I hope I put him on my suggestion, I might have done it. He's this Chinese dude, his technique is very close to mine, you know, but he does like all the Chinese stuff. And if you watch his demonstrations, they're so fucking similar. Like the mantis and the Yang style and the fucking Hungar and the fucking, they're all the same shit. And that guy, I gotta remember his fucking name. The Chinese guy, all his vision Chinese. But when you watch that guy, is a perfect example of what I've been saying for 30 fucking years. It's all the same family of shit. And Chinese people are fucking like shady as fuck. Because the mistake is people thinking that, because when they came to America, we had karate first, right, from like the Korean War and like, you know, World War II and all that shit. So we had this romanticized like Japanese Bushido like honor code. Chinese people are ghetto, okay, and they'll be the first one to tell you Chinese people are fucking ghetto, ghetto as fuck. Look what happened to my fucking student Shirley. Like these people are ghetto, okay. So they don't have that honor code that you think they do. I know because I hung out with all the gangs in New York. I can fucking tell you how it really goes. They're not Japanese, okay? Taiwanese people like this weird mix between the two. They have like this Japanese mixed culture with the old Chinese culture. It's an interesting culture. But Chinese people, it's not what you think it is. It's not like in the movies. So there's a lot of like charlatans and fucking like, you know, look at the whole country, the whole economy is based on stealing American IP and fucking rebranding it and selling it for cheap. You know? No. The Chinese, the majority of the Chinese don't give a fuck about any of that. You have like the elite, you know, small families and like these random fucking martial artist guys like me. Like I'm like a fucking like Chinese folk hero. I'm like the one traveling like ninja guy who like does all the things in like the movies. You know what I mean? It's like very rare. Whereas in Japan, their philosophy is more, it was more in the culture. Chinese peasants didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. You know, no. It was not like that. Like, it was common for Chinese people to kill their own masters to take over the school. It was common to like go to a park and challenge the master and kill him and take his school, break his fucking arm and take his school. Japan was very like honor samurai bushido. Like China was not like that. And the masters will tell you. I'm not making this up. You have connection to Neil and George Zhu, whatever the fuck his name is. That guy's from that generation. Ask him. Because he seems like an honest dude. I don't know much about the guy, but I'm pretty sure he'll tell you what I'm saying is true. The Chinese people are very deceptive. Ninjas were Chinese. Ninjas were not Japanese. I don't know what the fucking people want to tell you. The ninjas were fucking Chinese. Nature, the fucking internal martial arts, is very similar to... It's fucking how many letters different? And you know, ninja, nature, fucking same fucking thing. Like, they're telling you in the face. Ninjas were fucking Chinese. Like, there's actually actually like very few people know this, but there's actually like ninja schools of Chinese people like that throw the darts and all the shit. The Japanese people take other people's cultures and like they're like autistic and make it better. Like the Japanese people will take an American and they don't invent anything on their own. If you notice about the Japanese people, they haven't invented anything on their own. What they do is they take somebody else's invention and then they like make it like perfect. That's their thing. They don't invent shit. They never invented a goddamn thing. What they do is take other people's things and perfect them, and that's what they're good at. The Japanese mind is like God made them a specific way. They take other people's culture and they fucking make it perfect. Like until like, you know, they couldn't, their honor code, they couldn't accept getting their fucking ass kicked by Chinese peasants in fucking like, you know, little fucking brown shit suits, jumping out of trees and throwing darts at them. Because the fucking China was around before Japan. And like, who knows, like, you know, that touch, who the fuck knows? You know, I can tell you that a lot of the real martial arts came from India. Like in the old, like when you trace it all the way back to like, you know, the chakras and all the fucking, you know, even the predecessors to acupuncture came from India. Like everything came from India. Like, you know, so one way or another it came from India. Like, I'm sure they had their own thing, but it wasn't until the Indian influence, when the Buddhism came and like the Ayurvedic medicine. This is like going 5 or 10,000 fucking years. I don't remember. You know? What I'm trying to say to you, James, is that the teaching you got limits your mind, because I don't have to breathe at all. I don't need to breathe at all. I can literally put my hand through you without breathing at all. That's what I'm trying to explain. They don't open your mind. These limitations of what people taught. Yes, that's true, but it's also not true at all. Like I'll literally put my finger through you without breathing. So these limitations of you're dependent on this, oh, it has to be done this way because Hung Tuo said it. I'm telling you as somebody who's tried everything. I agree with you that yes, there's methods where that's the only way. But I'm telling you that for every method it's the only way, there's another method that isn't the only way. That's my point, you know? Like, yes, as a beginner, like obviously it's much more effective to get every system to work in unison. But once you get the system developed, none of that matters. When you have the iron wire, if I hold my breath or have no air in me, I'm still going to tear someone's face off. There's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do. If this guy hasn't trained at least 10 years, I'm going to fucking rip his face off. There's nothing he can do. For the first 10 years of your training, if you're training, yes, it's better to have the breathing. What I'm telling you is that in life in this situation, when you've trained your entire life, none of that fucking matters. Because you're just dealing with an instant, it's a tenth of a second. Actually 0.06. Okay? You're going to lose an eye in 0.06. Like, you're not even going to have time to have a breath. Like, you know, you got to understand, like, there's nothing there. Like, the hand's going to be in and out. Whether I go and breathe in, or I go and breathe out, or I don't breathe, you're still not going to see it. You're going to have no eyes. Whether I'm breathing in, breathing out, holding my breath, no breath, in breath, out breath, the guy has no eyes. There's like goddamn things you're going to be able to do about it, bro. No, I just demoed. I know the stream's delayed. But I can hold my breath, I can breathe out, I can breathe in, I can have no air, I can have all air, because I've gone past what you're saying. Because, no, but there's no such thing as non-external force. There's no such thing. This is a nonsense, because there's nobody, listen, all these people who say the internal is bullshit. None of these people can fight. 0 of them. 0 of them. Every single motherfucker who can actually, none of these people, I can, not a single one of these fucking guys on YouTube right now, none of them, even the masters, have more real life fight experience than me. None of them. Even in sparring, I guarantee you I have 5 to 10 times more sparring and push-up experience than any of them. There's people who witnessed it. So it's like, I'm the guy who can tell you, okay? Like, none of that matters. None of it matters. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong, but I'm trying to explain to you. The problem we're having in real life is that people, they lock their mind into these things, that this is right and this is wrong. But I'll hold my breath. I'll breathe out. No breath. Does it fucking matter? Does it matter? The guy has no eyes. He's dead. You know, because 20 years ago or 30 years ago, some of the Chinese guys told me, he's like, and William Chandler was also, you can't rely on syncing your breath. And another thing I learned in the 90s, and I started using this, I would time my opponent's breathing. So one of the things that we do in karate was that when you see the guy breathing in is when you attack him. So even before, like maybe I just started Tai Chi, or like before I started Tai Chi, I was already on this breathing thing from sparring. I don't remember the exact crossover if I started William Chen style or not. But my karate teacher always said this, like, when you see him breathe in, that's when you go. So we're timing his breathing. As soon as he breathes in, I'm going to attack him. Because most people, when they're breathing in, they're pulling their root up, and they're kind of accepting you, right? So one of the things was to break that. Hey, bro, if you want to fight me? I've been saying this to all the Tai Chi people for fucking 20 years. You fucking run your mouth. I'm down. I'll fuck you up. I will fuck you up. I'm not one of these dudes, bro. Any one of you Tai Chi motherfuckers, like, I'm fucking ready to go. So, like, you want to find out? Let's find out. Let's find out. I'm in North Carolina. You want to find out? Because I'm looking for a motherfucker. I'm looking for a motherfucker to please. No, I'm talking to you, bitch Bryce, Slocky, my bitch. I'm talking to you. You're the one talking shit, right? You're talking shit. I'm not a fake martial artist, motherfucker. I did boxing, traditional karate, kickboxing, every fucking thing I think of. And I smashed, I was a dead old motherfucker, and I smashed beer bottles in people's fucking faces. I'm an asshole. Okay? I'm not a Tai Chi guy. I'm a cocksucker. New York Fight League. I'm fucking 50 years old. I don't know Fight League. I'll fight you for free in the street for whiskey. I don't fight no fucking Fight League, bro. I'm old. Fuck you talking about Fight League? That was 30 years ago. I'm an old man. I'll fuck you up for free. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Fake hard. The only thing that's fake hard is my dick for your mom, because she's a busted old bitch with no teeth. How's that? Let's just get rid of this guy, because he's not even fucking entertaining. What's his fucking name? What is this fucking guy? He's not even showing up on the stream list. Anyway, we'll just ignore this video for a while. But look, I've trained like professionals. I've gone up against the best. I'm old, okay? I've already did my time. I have the battle scars to prove it. Hundreds of stitches, been stabbed, shot at, okay? I've carried my own face to the hospital. I'm not fake anything. There's no faking anything here, bro. You know, like, that's the thing. Like, I'm the only one. Bro, I'm from East New York and Canarsie. What are you talking about fake hard? What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Where do you think I'm from? You think I'm a white boy? Where do you think I'm from? You think I'm white? Where do you think I grew up? This is the problem. You guys can't tell the difference between real and fake and someone who's really good fuck. This isn't an act. This ain't an act, bro. This is who I am. That's what's fucking, it's gonna get your fucking brain fucked up. Alright, well then, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I would love it, please. I pray for the fucking day one of you YouTube retards, I fucking pray for it. You have no idea. I'm not like these other guys. I fucking pray one of you YouTube retards actually finds me in the street and records it. I'm gonna break your fucking face and I'm gonna enjoy it and I'm gonna get famous off it. Okay? I pray. I can't even convince myself. Dude, I'm 6'3" and 220 pounds. Okay? Even without Kung Fu, I'm gonna smash you in the fucking face. But I've been training for 35 years. I think I know a little something. Okay? And I started with boxing, so like, I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway. Always these fucking fake troll guys coming in talking shit. Why isn't it showing him on the stream? That's really weird. It's showing him on the monitor, but it's not showing him on the stream box. I don't think he's a real person. That's really weird. This Bryce guy, I think he's some fucking YouTube fucking plant. I think he's some COINTELPRO guy. I don't think you're a real person. What's your name? Bryce Locke? I think you're a fucking bot. Because I don't think he's a real fucking person. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, what do you think's gonna happen? You're gonna make me get... My whole market is that I'm an asshole. All my students know I'm an asshole. I've actually used my shit in the street. I have battle scars to prove it. Hundreds of stitches, broken bones everywhere. Hundreds of people in New York City have seen me fucking smack people in the face. I'm not one of these guys. So it's like, there's no point in me hiding it and making believe I'm one of these fucking pussy YouTube personalities. I'm not one of these guys. That's not who I am. I can't make believe, because there's too many people who know me from Brooklyn as being a motherfucker. So I can't make believe that I'm not this guy. You know, like as much of a Buddhist, you know, humble fucking, like I believe in spirituality stuff, I'm still a motherfucker. So for me to make believe I'm not, there's no point. So if you think you're gonna like bait me in some argument and make me look bad, my whole fucking brand is that I'm that asshole. So what do you think you're gonna accomplish? It doesn't make any sense. That's my brand. My brand is I'm the motherfucker. I will punch you in the fucking face. Fuck around, find out. Fuck around, find out. Like, do you really want to fuck around with somebody whose knuckles are this big? Like, do you really want to fuck around with this? Like really, guys. I mean, like, really, like you don't know you can't tell somebody who's actually been in fucking fights before. Like, you can't really tell. Like, someone's like been in fights before. Like, come on. And that's the funny thing. My whole life, I've trained with professional fighters, world champion guys. All of them are so respectful. They're all like, oh, this guy's legit. He's been in some shit. It's always some motherfucker who's never been punched in the fucking mouth before, who's running his mouth on the internet. But thank you for the content, Bryce, if you're even a human being. 99.9% he's a fucking YouTube fucking shill. But thank you for the content, giving me a chance to fucking embarrass you. So where were we? Any of you guys have any other questions? What time is it? I mean, just on the fact that, you know, I'm going on half a century old, I look pretty good, you know? I grew up in East New York. I still have my face. You know what I mean? I gotta be doing something right. All right, that's the thing I gotta say about Tai Chi. Whether it works or not in a fight is irrelevant. It's scientifically proven to keep you young. Okay? And this is what I was talking about with Tai Chi World Tai Chi Day. I look really goddamn good for my age. Okay? Everybody who does Tai Chi, even if they don't look, their life is better. You can't say that about Jiu-Jitsu, you can't say about the karate. Statistically speaking, Tai Chi done incorrectly improves people's lives. If you're a fighter and you're a tough guy, you need to be doing Tai Chi to make sure that you can live longer. That's it. Like, even if you're doing bad Tai Chi, you gotta be doing it so you can live longer. And what I'm gonna prove this year, like I did, but no one believed me when I was young because I was young, I'm gonna do it again just to prove it. You can use Tai Chi to counteract hard training. And I'm going to do weightlifting, I'm going to do calisthenics, I'm going to get shredded again, I'm going to do one more time while I'm still young enough. Because like, you know, I'm going on like towards the 50s, you know, like I have one more shot to like get shredded again. I'm going to do it just to prove the point that Tai Chi and activity work together and they help each other. They're not opposites. And that's what people don't understand. It's not like, I'm going to fucking shoot you, bro. Like straight up. I'm in North Carolina. It's in New York. I'll fucking shoot you. Come to my house. You try to attack me. I'm gonna fucking put a hole in you. Okay, this is the stand your ground state. I'm gonna fucking kill you if you fuck with me. Like, you know, like I mind my business. You come at me to attack me and try to rob me. You get fucking holes in you. You know, like you don't need martial arts. I mean, I've been doing Qigong like since 2000 with my master, like, you know, like, but I also do like, I spoke Cantonese, he spoke Taiwanese, I understand, like, we had a lot of communication issue, but he taught me a lot, and he explained it means, use Qi, push bone, make right. That's what he called it. It's like, it's not just to now. So like the Qigong that I got, the majority of my Qigong was from someone who was China, like, but it wasn't like regular China, it was like, it was bone setting mixed with like energy work and like Pure Land Buddhism. So my understanding of Qigong is not like normal people. Like I'm like a chaos magician, okay, like if you want to call it that. Because my life path has put me on taking all these different philosophies to where I am now. But Qigong just means energy work or blood work. Because a lot of the times, yes, they talk about the magnetic electrical energy, but when it comes to Tai Chi, they're mostly talking about blood. And that's what's so hard. Again, you can't translate a Chinese word directly into English, and my Chinese is very bad. I spoke fluent Cantonese in the 90s and like early 2000s. But I stopped using it, and then I spoke with people that were doing Taiwanese, like, you know, Chaisan in like all the other dialects, and it's too much from my, you know, my autism, I don't retain things I don't use. It's very difficult. So if you're doing Qigong, the thing is, energy work, you're talking about the electric energy, there's, the most important thing, you gotta be careful, because a lot of people, like I went to Tai Chi Day, they're doing Qigong, they're just doing these poses, and they don't know what they're doing. They don't understand. Hey, what's up, Clement? The most important thing with the Qigong is that you only use the intestines to store energy. If you're having trouble sleeping, you're probably bringing energy up into your head. So you gotta make sure that you are visualizing bringing the energy into your intestines. Your intestines, because they're lines, it acts like something called a Baghdad battery. Look up Baghdad battery. It's an acid battery in a copper, it's basically like vinegar in a fucking copper vase. That's what your intestines are. So when you do Qigong, like the first lesson, the very first thing my master taught me was that you only store energy in the lower dantian. So when we move the energy around, you only can put the energy in your lower intestines. And that's where the only place it stays. if you're having trouble sleeping, it's likely that you're thinking and you're bringing the energy here, whether you know it or not. For some reason, you're bringing the energy to your head. You're going to bring the energy, visualize bringing the energy down into your core, and then after you're done, seal the chi. And what you do is you wipe your body. How I was told to do it is you wipe this, you seal the gates like this. And you have to visualize sealing the gates. And you basically seal all your pores and you close everything off. And then you lock the energy in your lower guts. If you don't make mentally, at the end of your practice, forcing the energy into your stomach and leaving it there, you'll go all over the place and you'll have you can wind up with actual medical conditions. Like you'll have boils and like weird shit will happen to you. So it's most likely you're doing the practice wrong, which is why it's so bad to do the practice on a master. Why I don't teach it online. There's 90% of the stuff that I know I don't teach online because of these reasons. Because if you don't have someone to explain it properly to you and then actually monitor you, bad things can happen. And when you come to the metaphysical stuff, really crazy. Bro, I've seen some crazy shit in my day that there's no explanation for. I can't even tell you. But you guys, if you watch the War Angel streams, okay? There's 6 streams, 6 to 12 hours I've given you. And you paid attention to what I did. And I proved all the woo stuff. And I knew the fucking lazy people aren't going to watch it. I knew the YouTube was going to press it. But I knew the people who need it are going to get it. If you watch the whole fucking thing, I proved all the woo. So, there's a lot of weird things that can happen. When you first start with the Nation, you'll feel, because you start to open up. If you imagine every single joint in your body opening up 2 to 5 millimeters, you're gonna get taller. I literally grew 2 inches. I wound up going from 6'1", 6'3". So you feel it. The craziest thing for me when I was about 20, when I first started, was breathing through my skin. That was the weirdest experience, because I was doing meditation, and my master was fucked up like this. He was from Taiwan. He would wait for me to tell him what I was experiencing, to make sure I was doing it right. And that's the thing about the Chan and Pure Land Buddhism, from what I learned it. It's like these riddles and these secret things, and you have to stumble on them, and the master acknowledges it, and then he gives you the next riddle, and then you have to stumble your way through the riddle, and then it's fucked up. But you give you this riddle, and then you think about the riddle, and you come up with an answer, and you stumble through it. And then you find the answer and he's like, oh, and then he's okay, and he tells you something else that's fucked up, and your brain goes so I can't explain it in words. I don't know how to explain it to you guys. But I was doing meditation, I said, why do I feel like I'm breathing through my skin? I felt like I was a tree. I could feel the air, and ever since then, when I do the form, I feel like every part of my body, I can feel the air. And it's I don't know in the Western science if it's a proprioceptive thing or if it's just acid, bro, some hippie shit. But when I do the form, as soon as I sit up, I can feel every hair on my body and I feel my skin breathing. When I do the form, it's I can feel, how do I even put it into words? So the stretch, I feel this and this, it's there's 2 separate, my body's divided in half. And this is the top half and the bottom half. The bottom half is the front and the top half's the back. And I can feel the whole shell. And as I breathe, I can feel every part of my body. It's a very strange thing. And I don't know how to express somebody who's ever experienced that. 10th sense, I believe the third eye is your first eye. Like the third eye is your first eye. And you have to wrap your head around what I'm saying. It'll take you a long time to understand it, really understand it. Your third eye is your first eye. As you go through these motions, it's like I don't know if there's like a drug, maybe acid or like mushrooms or something that like gives you these weird, but like I can feel the pores in my hand and the hairs on my arms. Like I know that like other people don't feel that much. Like even right now, as I'm talking to you, I have a sense of my foot on the ground rooted and my whole body, but my mind, it's like playing piano. And like if you play piano or read music, your hands are doing two things, you're reading the music, you're listening to it. It's like a split in your consciousness. So when I do the form, like as I explain to people, you know, like you think everybody does the form, it looks the same. I'll do Chen Menching's form, right? We're doing Chen Menching's form. And we're just doing a basic ward off and like roll back. Okay? It's a basic version, okay? It looks the same, but no two people do it the same. Even if they're mechanically moving every single fucking joint, it's not the same form. It's not the same form. There's inside, the way the energy is expressed, the person's spirit inside the bone marrow, but also the way that you're stretching and passing the kinetic wave and the blood and the fluid. You'll never touch two people's hands that feel the same. I've played push hand against hundreds of people. I played the best in the world. And I'm not saying this, I'm trying to give you a documentary of my life, you know, as like this fucking Chinese folk hero guy. I've played hundreds of people. I've never felt two people that felt the same. That's the only way I can explain it to you. There's no two people that feel like, no two masters feel the same. And that's why I understood that Tai Chi is not a style, because I've played against Chen style masters that don't feel the same. I played the best of the Wu style, Benjamin Wu. I played him, the best of the best, you know? Like I touched hands with the best of the best. No one feels the same. At all. It's like different planets. It's different fucking dimensions. I can't even describe to you. You get to a level where it's like you're reading Braille. Like you read the person's body and their spirit. Like when you talk, I say it sounds corny, like a fucking kung fu fortune cookie. But when you touch a person's hand, you feel their soul. Like you feel their, like, you feel them. Won't you? Because like obviously you're a beginner, you're worried about doing the things, like I stand up straight, don't beat me up and don't push me. When you get past all that, when you're not worried about, am I doing the right thing or am I winning or losing? And you're actually with the other person, you start to feel like you're reading Braille and you get this sense of their being. It's crazy. There's no two people alike. Yes, it's no two snowflakes are the same. That's all I can explain it. Holy shit, Zane, how the fuck have you been? No, I haven't touched hands. I played against some of his students that supposedly, I played against people who went to his seminar. I played against people who took his online classes. I've never met the guy. Isn't he from like fucking Australia or New Zealand or some shit? I don't fucking know. You know, like I like what he's doing. You know, like, but there's things I don't agree with. But again, I'm coming from a practical application of like, can you do this and more? That's not his business. My business is dealing with like fitness and warfare. His business is dealing with like some historical Yang style. I don't care about that. Yeah, I haven't seen you in like 2 years? No. I remember your name. It's been a long fucking time, bro. What do you think of the new studio? This is my new training floor. Huh? like kung fu shit, you know? I mean, my whole thing with Adam Windsor people, why I defended them. I mean, this is going to be the North Carolina location for the Tai Chi United company here. So we're doing retreats and seminars. This is for the closed door students. So like my students, direct students, and Shirley's students can come. And then for people who fly in who aren't like our direct students, we're going to have other locations. But this is for like the closed door people. But as for Adam Windsor, like my whole thing was I respect. I always said that I respect everybody who trains hard and cares about what they do and actually cares about helping people. You know, there's things he does I don't agree with. There's things that, you know, but I only see snippets, so I can't really say. What I can tell you is that what he's teaching is not martial art. What he's teaching is like, you know, like some. It's a hobby. There's martial art aspects to it, but instead of martial art, if you're not dealing with combatives all the time, you know. So, and I've been saying this now that I'm teaching. I explained this to you for Shirley. She's teaching the Qigong version of my form. I teach martial arts. I teach people like this is what you do to kill somebody if they're trying to rob you and fucking destroy your family. That's what I'm good at. Like I don't know the nice way. That's why teaming up with Steve for Shirley is a good thing because she can take what I teach and give it to people in a way that is digestible for a normal person. Most people they're not going to deal with the kind of violence I dealt with in my life. They're not going to deal with the kind of trauma I dealt with in my life. I can't, you know, and on top of it, like, it's not my place, you know? But Adam Windsor stuff, I like what he does. Like I always say, as a trainer, someone who analyzes body mechanics, his body mechanics are nearly perfect for Yang style. As for his program, I didn't watch him do his fucking program, but the people that I trained with him, they were like, you know, they were okay. You know, like I felt like they were like on par with all the good push hands people. I didn't have any negative thing to say about them. Damo Mitchell, his friend's a fucking cunt. Okay? Like his friend Damo Mitchell is a fucking cunt. And until that bitch apologizes to me, we have beef. Him, indefensible martial arts guy from UK, he's my bitch. Until he apologizes and fucking bows down and kisses the ring, he's my fucking cunt bitch. Dallin Mitchell's a cunt bitch. The Australian kids I forgive. You know, I don't name them. But, you know, they pissed me off, but they did their penance. I give them respect. Because a man keeps their word. They did what I asked. We have no beef. I still don't like what they did, but I'm not going to, like, shit on them because they did the right thing. What they did to me was fucked up. But they did the right thing to try to squash it. But Donald Mitchell's a fucking cunt. He did not do the right thing. He can go fuck himself. As for Adam Windsor students, I spend time defending them, you know, because I think what the Tai Chi community has become, and the fact that they don't stick up for each other, and like, they're all this like, I'm better than you, and they're fighting for views. These fucking people make me sick. Everybody makes me fucking sick. But my only thing with Adam Windsor, if he hears me, is like, dude, you gotta reel in like some of the, because remember, like, people only see snapshots, and when they hear like this is the only way, or you gotta be careful, because then you put yourself in a corner and make other people look, and it fuels the fire. You know, like, and some of the people were like making these videos with like thunder and lightning sounds and shit, and like, it just makes us all look bad. That's my only problem. We already have a bad reputation, and my goal with Tai Chi is more historical and for health at this point. Like, I wanted to, you know, as an anthropologist of martial arts, like say, oh, because I was already doing karate and fucking boxing, I can fuck people up. And I can put a bullet in a motherfucker. Like, and I don't need kung fu and Tai Chi. I was doing it, you know, for historical reference, you know, and the fact that it actually helps me in other ways, you know. But it's definitely a martial art. I learned it as a martial art because I wanted to learn the historical martial art. I didn't need it though. But I just don't like where the world is going, especially the Tai Chi community. I don't like it, and you know, I don't. The way I see it right now, the Adam Minzer clique, I don't think it's Adam Minzer's fault per se. The way I see it, I don't know him, but the way other people have advertised him and the way that the clips are edited, it just feeds into the bullshit. But I understand the mechanical theory. I can do 90% of the stuff that he's doing, you know? The stuff that they do that I just don't find useful. Like being able to do the Fajing very soft. If someone is very soft, I'm gonna fucking punch you in the face. If you're touching me like this, I'm gonna fucking kick you in the face. I'm gonna punch you in the fucking mouth. There's nothing you can do. What do I need to learn? Like, oh, well, I'm more Sun than you. Like, I don't care about that. I'm gonna fucking stab you. So like, that's the only thing I'm like, it's a cool trick, but you're not gonna stop me from punching you in the mouth. If you go super Sun and super light, I'm gonna kick you in the throat. That's my only, from that style, the young, not just him, it's the young people. They're like, I'm a fascia and I'm super light. I'm like, you've never been in a fight before, you never sparred. I'm gonna fucking punch you at 100 miles, literally 100 miles an hour. My left foot would move between like 50 and 70 miles an hour. My hands move between 80 and 100, maybe 120 or something. You know, who the fuck knows? It's fast. I'm gonna fucking crack you in the face. This fucking like super soft Fajing bullshit's not gonna work. It's like, it's not gonna work. I'm gonna fucking smack you in the mouth. So that's where I draw the line. Yeah, when I was, like, my mom was friends with, I went to Empire State Nationals for the first time. He was a photographer, and he took these pictures, and somehow, something with the camera, they could tell how fast you are. I don't remember exactly how he did it, and I'm drunk, but like, there's a way to tell how fast you are by how many frames or something move. But if you look at my fastest hands in the world video, you can see it. Like my hands are moving so fucking fast, it's just not right. Then don't believe me. Like, I don't know if I can tell you. I don't give a fuck if you believe me or not. I can tell you there's witnesses. And if you look at my short, fastest hands in the world, the first clip on my, you see it in my shorts. There's 4 strikes in 0.2 of a second. How fast is that? Go look. And then go look at me hitting a bag. What the fuck am I supposed to tell you guys? If I pull my dick, I have a 9-inch fucking cock. Like, you know what I mean? Like, like my foot moves between 50 and 70 miles an hour. And I'm 50 years old. I'm telling you, it's fast. I've sparred hundreds of people. Like, I can tell you, it's fast. It's fast enough. I'll give you an old man joke. Let me see. This is his motor memory. So this is a choki, they call it a basat, right? I'm gonna see if I can do this without being drunk, okay? Like, it's 4 moves in how many seconds? Like, how many seconds? Like, I don't know. And that's his motor memory. I'm 50. I'm not 50 yet, but I'm getting close. I'm pretty fast. When I was in my 20s, I was obnoxiously fast. Like, really, really fast. I have like ADHD or some fucking weird shit. I'm hyperactive. Like, my body's a mutant. Like, I was fast, bro. You know, I'm here to tell you. Yeah, I'm fast enough. I think I was a little faster than him, to be honest, because I had some kind of genetic defect. Like, I was really fast. I was really, really, like, obnoxiously fast. I mean, from the camera angle, like, from this side, like, and, like, I was really fast. I was just really fast. I'm like a drunk old man right now. I'm still moving pretty good. I was just fast. Like, I have the fast twitch muscles. Like, I've gone against professionals who couldn't see me moving. And it's not just my speed, it's the angle. Because I'll come at you at a weird fucking angle and your brain doesn't register it. And this is not just me saying it, there's hundreds of fucking, I just done this hundreds of times with my full-time job. I don't know how to do anything else. I don't know how to do anything else. Like, this is my whole life. I don't know anything else. What the fuck you guys want from me? You know, like I have a fucking 4 herniated disc, a fractured spine, a ripped fucking, I tore my fucking psoas. Like, you know, I'm all fucked up. I still move pretty quick. Could you imagine me 30 years ago? It was fucking disgusting. It was disgusting. And people say it doesn't exist. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I did the thing. Why don't you just accept I did the thing? Like, what do you want me to do? It's not my fucking wrist. Like, what am I supposed to fucking do for you guys? What the fuck do you guys want from me? There's fucking professional athletes who vouch for me. There's fucking like hardcore people who vouch for me. There's all like 50 people in the New York Tai Chi scene who've played with me. Nothing's enough for these people online. Like, I'm getting too old. I'm like, now I'm like looking to pick a fight with these fucking Tai Chi people to prove my point before I die. I'm getting hungry. I don't know what they want from me. Like, you know? What am I supposed to do? You know, what would be enough proof? I have to kill somebody? Like, you know, it's like, what the fuck do you need me to do? Go to the blood sport? Beat the Emerito Day guy? Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? It's like I can't win. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Tai Chi is not Tai Chi. First of all, Tai Chi is not the real word. It's Tai Chi. Second of all, Tai Chi is not a martial art. For the 500th time, Tai Chi is a theory set. That's why you have so many branches. What you think Tai Chi is the Qigong for health that's based on the fighting style. I learned William Chen's boxing style, okay? It's boxing. You're new. Go to my shorts, go to my videos, scroll down 10 years and watch me hit a bag. That's Tai Chi boxing. The problem is the use of words and not knowing what the fuck you're talking about. What I do is a martial art. What they do is a health practice, and they're not the same. They do Tai Chi Gong, I do Tai Chi Chuan. I do boxing fist. They do health shit. And the general public doesn't know the difference. I will take your fucking face off. I'm not mad, I'm from Brooklyn. This is how I talk. I'm sorry that you're a liberal fucking traitorous cock who has a low testosterone count and never heard a man speak. This is how men talk from the hood. You're a bitch. You're a little bitch with no hair on your balls. I'm sorry to tell you, I'll fuck you up. And there's nothing you can do about it, bro. There ain't a goddamn thing you can do about it. And I love it that you keep playing the same social engineering game. Let's come in with different accounts and get them riled up and make them look bad. Don't you get it? This is who I am. This is what I sell. I don't care if I look bad. The people who like me for me, and the people who don't, go fuck themselves and not learn the real thing. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. But seriously, Doge Kid, whatever your name is, Tai Chi's not a style. It's not a style. It's a theory set. There's health practices, there's sport practices, and there's secret martial art practices. The secret martial art shit's real, but it's very rare. It's very rare. I mean, like, dude, I was doing bare knuckle boxing matches for money when I was 13 in Canarsie. There's a place called Jetro. It's still there, Farragut and 99th Street. And the 40-ounce gang and Agneta and all these other fucking gangs would go and hang out in this corner and bet on the kids fighting. I fought in the street my whole fucking life. Like, I literally was fought for money as a little kid. like it's not a bullshit. Like, who fucking tell you? I didn't grow up with parents and like a nice little, I didn't have a bed till I was 14 years old. My parents wanted me dead. Like, I grew up on the street. Like, I'm not one of these guys on the internet. I'm here hanging out with you guys. Like, you don't understand. Like, that's the problem. You guys can't tell the difference between the real and the fake shit. Like, I'm trying to give you the real shit. And what's funny is, like, all these fake detractors come around, because they see all these fake motherfuckers, like, bro, you don't have no fucking idea. Like, I want to be good, but no one lets me. I really am not a nice guy. I'm a good guy, but I'm a fucking asshole. I'll fuck you up for fun. Give me a legal reason, please, God. Like, I want to fuck somebody up. Like, I'm not a nice person. I'm a good person, but I'm a bad motherfucker. It's like, I like hurting people that are bad people. Like, I'm not that guy. What am I supposed to do? Like, lie about it? Like, I've never lied to you guys. Listen, I've been online. This channel I've had for 10, 12 years. I've been on YouTube for 15 years. How long has YouTube? I've been around since YouTube first started. I've been here since MySpace, since fucking IRC. I've never lied to anybody. I'm the same asshole I was when I was in my 20s. Like, I'm who I am. I tell you guys the real shit. You don't want the real shit? Go somewhere else. You don't believe me? Go fuck yourself. Like, I'll tell you what works and what doesn't. The problem we're having is that people come and they think that, oh, it's a Tai Chi, it has to be fake. No! Yeah, have a good night, man. I'm glad this guy gets to entertain you. I actually gotta get to practice, because I gotta stay on my schedule. And because of stupid fucking YouTube, it's a rear-facing camera, I don't know what time it is. I got to go, actually. Does anybody have any other questions for me before I go? But I wanted to show you guys the space. This is the closed door training facility. Here's our medieval torture devices. My student hooked me up with this. Very fucking cool. This is like the best roller I've actually had, I have to admit. It's like the second best roller I've ever had was when I got my certification was this one. This is really fucking hardcore. But this is where all the not magic happens. And then that's where I put my motorcycle gear on. So this is my closed door ninja studio for Tai Chi United. You're welcome, Clement. And since you're here, oh, hold on, Doge. Oh, shut the fuck up, Doge. Do you not know anything about fighting? You keep your chin up. Why? Do you know anything about the old styles? You ever see old school boxing? You ever see you don't put your chin down. It's stupid. You don't know about kickboxing. You can't do that. You put your head down and you get kicked in the fucking face. Shut up. You know what you're talking about. Clement, I did Chisel karate for 30 years. We fight like this. That's how we fight. Tai Chi boxing, we fight like this. Why? Because every part of our body is equidistant from the opponent. It's a different strategy. You understand? And not every strategy is the same. You just proved Doge. You just proved you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't know about fighting. Real fighters don't put their head forward. When people put their head down, that works in boxing. It doesn't work when the rules are changed. You're a fucking idiot. Clement, this is really important. Okay, I told you about the last time. When I learned the Tai Chi punch, the old phone books? The old school phone books. What got me into Tai Chi was he put a fucking old school yellow pages on my chest and he hit me with the hollow fist with that. Dude, with the fucking phone book, I almost puked and it felt like my spine exploded. With the phone book. Never hit your students in the solar plexus, the liver, spleen, kidneys, or any joints. If you notice, I have a video that when I just left Chinatown before I came here. It's Yi before Chi, force to learn no force. It's a video of one of my students there. Notice even when I hit him in the chest. When we spar in karate, we use Kokushin rules, but when we're sparring our friends, we only hit you in the pec. And we call it tagging. We'll punch you fucking dead straight, full force, but we hit you in the chest. Why? Because what we normally would target in a fight is under your pec at this bone, your liver, your fucking heart, or your spleen, or your kidneys. You never hit your friends in those spots. Don't hit your students. Because you're training, you're following my method, and you're decoding it, there's gonna come a fucking point. I'm gonna tell you a story. You see this marble countertop? I don't know if you can see. I have to wait for the stream to delay. Okay. I was living in Cheapside Bay, and I was on the phone with one of my ex-girlfriends. And this fucking chick got me so mad. I'm on the phone with her. I'm like, I can't fucking believe this shit. God damn it, blah, blah, blah. And I went like this. Boom! And the whole countertop exploded. I didn't feel anything. Marble, like a fucking 3-inch thick piece of marble. Crap. You cannot feel, when you're doing this training, you're not going to feel your own fucking power. And one day you're going to play this game and you're going to think, oh, I'm going to show off. And you're going to fucking hurt someone. And if you hit them in the heart with that kind of intention, because it's not like a normal boxing, the energy wave will go through. You're going to bruise their fucking heart, they're going to wind up in a blood clot, and they're going to fucking die. And I can tell you, there's people in my life who I've had to fucking use this shit on, who we cannot confirm are still living. All right? I can tell you 100% where there's witnesses where I've hit people with these strikes in the heart, and they all were unconscious because you hit them here and something happens. It's like the same as a vagus nerve. You hit them hard enough, they will go unconscious, and they will hit their head on the fucking floor. And then when people pick them up, they're coughing up blood. And I can tell you at least 3 people were never seen again. They walked out and no one ever saw them again. I can't confirm if they're alive or dead. Now, they deserved it, but do you want that on your hands from a fucking student? You won't feel when the power level clicks. You're not going to feel it. There's no way to feel your own power. And one day you're just going to hit somebody, like that kid, Benjamin Yee. I hit him in the chest in, I think a push hands. I was punching him in the chest. I wasn't hitting him that hard. The next week, his whole chest was black and blue. And I was touching him. There's going to come a fucking point in your training, if you keep following this method, you're going to be able to fucking hurt people. Don't fuck around. So on that note, everyone thinks it's a joke until someone winds up, like my master will say, no horseplay in the dojo. Someone always gets hurt. Don't fucking play. Use a pad, hit it with the pads. Because I can say in the last 30 years, I've never had only one student I've ever had have an actual debilitating injury. He got kicked in the knee and he tore his meniscus. That was in the 90s. And ever since then, I've been super fucking careful. Like, you don't want to have that on your conscience that you hurt your student trying to show off. This, you know? Duh, I can tell you karate senses work on the street. I can tell you 100% they work on the street. Because I've used them. I blasted people with roundhouse kicks in the face. I blasted people with reverse punches in the face. Budo karate was meant for the street. You're conflating modern commercial shit. I never took a lesson in commercial school. Ever. I can tell you 100% it works. You want to believe it? You believe it? I don't care. I can tell you I fucked up a lot of people. Okay? A lot of people. And if you want some, you can come get some, bro. Just find me. I'm in fucking North Carolina. You want to find some? Email me. My shit's on the fucking page. You can find me, and you can find out. You can find out if it works or not. You know what I'm saying? First of all, 90% of people don't know what they're doing. Second of all, I've done this since I was 4 years old, and I wasn't playing sport karate. I learned from guys from Vietnam, from people who were in the Korean War, people who kill people with their bare hands. ATF agents, FBI agents, fucking like Navy SEALs, that's who trained me when I was a little kid, okay? I didn't learn the karate you guys are talking about. And that's your fucking problem. You guys don't understand there's a difference. I learned karate to kill people. And I used it in the street in Brooklyn, and there's people who were witnesses in New York. You can, if you're anybody, you can find out. Anybody who's anybody in the Tai Chi community knows who I am. They know who I am from New York. There's witnesses. There's people who have seen me fucking do challenge matches. There's people who've seen me. I fuck people up. I can tell you my karate works this way. I can't tell you about whatever. I can tell you that anything that was trained before 1979, all those styles from the 70s pre to Vietnam, they work. If you're doing some fucking McDojo shit, don't compare it to what I'm doing. I'll rip your face off. So, dude, I'm gonna tell you as somebody who grew up in East New York and Brownsville, that jiu-jitsu is fucking garbage. I've worked in private security, I've worked in the clubs, I've seen people die using that Brazilian jiu-jitsu fucking cuck bullshit. It doesn't work. People like you think this shit, the fantasy land. When you're in the street, in the hood, you're gonna get jumped. You can't pull guard, you can't do no locks. The fastest way to end a fight is to knock somebody out, to fucking rattle their fucking brain. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I'm gonna hit you, I can break a brick. There's no part of your body that can sustain the shot I'm gonna hit you with. It's not gonna happen. I can tell you I've never hit somebody more than once in the last 30 years. I've hit people one time, they go down. Every single time. Every single time. And there's people who witnessed it. I'm not to be fucked with. There's no more game. I'm not going to be humble anymore on the internet. I've hurt people. So I kind of feel bad, but I don't feel bad. You know what I mean? I can tell you the old school Budo Karate works because I used it, I tested it. I can tell you that Julian Chen's Tai Chi style works, I tested it. I think Yang Shao, it works, I tested it. I hit people. It's not boasting. This is historical record. Boasting is fucking saying some shit like I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm telling you what I've done in real life. That's not boasting. That's giving you a historical account. Boasting is saying I'm better than somebody else. I don't think I'm better than anybody. I can just tell you I trained the way they trained in Vietnam, and I've left people near dead or dead in the street in New York City, and people saw it. Cops, guys in the military, people come to me because they saw me fucking wreck people in New York. And there's a lot of people with very big names who know who I am, who will back me up. I'm not to be fucked with. I'm not one of these fucking guys to be played with. And I've been humble for the last 10 years. I'm not going to be humble anymore. That's who I am. I'm a fucking scumbag, piece of shit, ex-fucking gang member guy who was a fucking cocksucker who went to Buddhism and tried to be a good guy. That's who I am. I can tell you what works. I can tell you what doesn't work. If you don't like it, go to somebody else's fucking page. Go somewhere else. I'm not the guy to fuck with. I'll fucking kill you with my bare hands. Like, that's all I can tell you. People in the Tai, if you're with anybody of note who knew anything about Tai Chi, who's in the tournament circuit, or knew anybody of any fucking influence, they'll tell you who I am. Because anybody who's anybody in the Tai Chi world has met someone who knows me. I know he's a troll, but I'm using him for content. See, Clement, I'm going to give you a lesson. Use the trolls as content, because what they think is negative publicity is actually positive publicity. They're going to get people to say my name, people are going to watch this video, and he's giving you a reason to tell the fucking truth. And people know what the truth is. And there's people who have done competitive push hands, who know people in New York, who are high-level masters when they asked me 6 degrees of fucking separation, Kevin Bacon. Okay? Everybody knows who the fuck I am. Okay? There's people in New York, there's anybody who's in the Tai Chi world, even the world champion guys who I didn't touch hands, know who I am. So he can go fuck himself. Well, if you're asking genuine questions, I'm giving you genuine answers. Like, I'm the only one in the Tai Chi world who actually worked in the field, who trained guys who were in the field, cops, fucking like military guys who did private security. I was a bodyguard for fucking years. I did private security in the clubs. All right, I was a fucking asshole. I was the guardian angel for 2 fucking years. In the 90s, I have a track record of using shit for real. I'm not a punk bitch. I'm an old dude who doesn't give a fuck anymore. I just don't give a fuck anymore. And I spent 20 years being attacked on the internet by fucking rejects. By fucking rejects. So I'm going to use you as a reason to talk about it and entertain myself, and then when people watch the stream, they're going to hear the story, which I've told 30 fucking times. You know what I mean? Guy's name is fucking Doge. I don't take him seriously. Jesus once said, it's for the reader to understand. When I respond to these trolls, it's not for the troll, because I know people are watching. You understand? I know that this is going to be up for fucking 10 years. People are going to watch this stream, they're going to hear me respond to this fucking reject, and they're going to know, they're going to go and corroborate everything I'm saying is fucking true. I've never lied to you guys. And every single thing I said is true. You know what I mean? Like, I backed it up 100 fucking times. The problem is people want to misunderstand because they don't want to accept reality. They'd rather think MMA is a fucking... MMA is not a fucking martial art. It's sport fighting. Mixed martial arts. There's nothing martial art about it. There's no honor and decorum. Okay? There's no killing techniques. No one dies at the end. There's no knives. There's no guns. It's not a martial art. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. People, one guy fucking commented today, oh, it's a Tai Chi, this, and the end is a Sanda, and that's the real martial art. Sanda's not a martial art, you fucking rejects. Sanda's sport fighting. Unless you're planning on killing a motherfucker who's raping your fucking daughter, you're not doing martial arts. That's what I train for. I train to fucking hurt people and maim and kill them. That's what I do. I'm not gonna lie about it. I've spent my entire life perfecting how to fucking kill somebody with my bare hands. I'm not one of these Tai Chi guys. I don't give a fuck. I care about, can I live long enough to perfect my enlightenment and survive the matrix? Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about making you happy. I don't give a fuck about making people like me. I care about keeping the historical record of what I've done and teaching people how to survive life. That's it. You don't like what I'm doing? Go fuck yourself. You don't like how I teach Tai Chi? Go fuck yourself. You know, you don't like what I'm doing with Tai Chi? Go fuck yourself. I teach real martial arts. And that's why I have, see for sure, like teaching the normal people the Qigong. Because I'm not a fighter, I was a martial artist. I taught people how to kill people with their bare hands to protect other people. That's what I did my whole fucking life. I've seen people die, I've held people with my hands dying, I've carried dead fucking bodies, I fucking stitched I've seen terrible fucking things. To me, that's martial arts. You guys who do UFC, you're in a controlled environment. You never had someone fucking come up to you with a fucking gun and say, what the fuck are you gonna do? You never had to defend anybody who had a fucking, you didn't do any of this shit. You weren't a bodyguard, you weren't a fucking security, you weren't doing anything. You're fucking fighting for money like a fucking cockfight. It's not martial arts. You're all fucking full of shit. And anybody has a fucking problem, come say it to my fucking face. Like, come say it to my face, I'm calling you out. But as for the fucking Tai Chi world, most of the people are full of shit and delusional. They don't spar, they never had a fucking fight in their life, and they pontificate about bullshit, and then have fucking rejects and this Doge motherfucker. This is my complaint the whole fucking time. People don't know what Tai Chi is, people don't know what martial arts is, and they'll conflate all these fucking YouTube paper tigers with people who did the real shit. And they don't know the difference. They're fucking retarded. It's a fucking idiocracy. So, for the ones who actually pay attention, you want to learn the real shit? Here it is. Welcome to the school of the missing toenail. But, you know, I love you guys. I really do this for historical record and for the people who love me and come and ask for the help. People like Clement who are on the fucking path. Don't fucking kill anybody, you stupid asshole. Stop doing those demos. Like, you know, if you want, message me on fucking Discord before you do something stupid. I've been here for fucking 10 years giving you guys free advice. Don't go trying to emulate me and hurt somebody. Can you please just ask a question before you do something stupid? But just don't hit anybody in the heart, the liver, the spleen, the eyes, the throat, okay? Punch them in the chest, they can take this. Everybody can take a punch in the chest, they're not gonna die. You punch them in the heart, they're gonna fucking have a problem. Don't try to be me, okay? Alright, if no other questions, I'm out of here. I gotta go practice guitar, I gotta be a ninja. Alright? But I'll probably do another stream this week. I'm glad you guys liked the new studio. This is the new angle. I'm going to be doing my first workshop from here soon. You know, I could actually do a whole form here. You know, it looks pretty ninja. You know, when you do fucking ninja shit, it looks fucking cool. Wow. You know? Like, I could even do, I shouldn't do this because I'm fucking drunk, but can I not hit this thing? See if I can do this drunk without hitting this thing. You know what I mean? So I can even do like fucking staff stuff in here, you know, which is cool. You know, do the golden bell stuff. You know, I couldn't do that in my last place. I normally don't show my weapon stuff, but you guys get a treat. Alright guys. I love you guys. You humans, I say I love you. Grateful for your presence. Practice of gratitude. I'll see you next time. Peace out.